So many of you got onto the line yesterday, got onto the show, talked LeBron's exit. Well, today's part two because Rob Pelinka has counter-moved. They have filled out that roster, and we want your perspective. 855-97 LA fan. D-Mac and I are going to get every ounce of this. Walker Kessler is a Laker. Bam. I don't know if it's a bam or not. We'll talk about whether it's good or bad, but it's certainly something. 4 years, $130 million. The big man comes for a shocking amount that had to go the other direction. We told you this yesterday, that it was probably going to be an act of desperation. 2 unprotected firsts in 31 and 33. 2 pick swaps in the first round, 28 and 30. For a guy that only played 5 games last year, but is a massive rim protector, is extraordinary in the data and offensive rebounding, and at least on paper looks like the kind of player that you want with Luka Doncic. But that's not it. The news kept on coming today. Quentin Grimes, a Laker, 4 years, $60 million. Pretty good player, good shooting guard, great defensive player. Mamu, do you want to try? All right, we're both going to try to say his name. You ready? I'll go first.
You go for it.
Good old Sandro Mamu Kalashi.
That was pretty good.
I think I butchered it.
Yeah, I think you kind of crushed that one.
You want to try?
So let's see. We got
little Mamu. We're going to go Mamu after this reference.
Yeah, we go Mamu Kalash.
It's like the movie The Paper with Michael Keaton. When he walks in, you just do it like you know what you're talking about.
Mamu Kalashavi.
I still hear people go, I really think Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like, I hear 5 different versions every... All right, so anyway, Mamu's in, 4 years, $52 million. The dude's like 6'9", plays much bigger than that. Nice player. And Colin Sexton is in it, 2 years and $19 million. Now, here's the reality, though. So it's great news in terms of you want the Lakers to be bold. You wanted Rob Pelinka at that poker table that is NBA offseason free agency to get his gamble on, to bring in a little bit of opportunity, put his chips in the middle of the table. He's done that. Here's the trade-off. No tradable first-round picks over the next 7 seasons. $475 million, $500 million on Doncic. Okay, cool. On Austin Reeves and on Kessler. All the picks and all the money that the Lakers have is basically spent. We can get to the details later. There's still some machinations they can make if they sign and trade for these guys respectively and they're sort of, in the right order. They have not a single, we think, second-round pick through, 2033. So there's a lot to unpack here, D-Mac. I like the boldness. You had to do something. There are so many question marks here. Is Walker Kessler worthy of this kind of money? Because they paid more for him than many teams have paid for bona fide top 15 players in the NBA. The price was remarkably steep. But the team is younger, the team is dynamic, and the team is certainly built around what a Luka Doncic surrounded, supported, filled-out roster is supposed to look like.
Yeah, I think the Walker Kessler move, this immediately makes this offseason a success for the Lakers. I really, truly do. This was, I think, ultimately the best move that they could have made with what was available. And the thing about Walker Kessler, what the Lakers are getting, the first thing I think about is the fact they're getting a player that's ascending. They're getting a player that they haven't seen him play his best basketball. He's someone that is on the younger side. He's not someone that has already peaked. He's not someone that is in their 30s. He's not a retread. This is someone that you pair with Luka Doncic and he gets better. And I think what you love about this move is there's action. The Lakers are pushing all the chips in the middle of the table for the Luka Doncic era. They're not waiting. They know what they have. So I think this is a very bold message by the organization that they feel like Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves with Walker Kessler can be a core that can not just compete in the playoffs, but if everything goes right, can compete to win a championship. I know it sounds crazy in a league, in a conference that has Victor Wembanyama that still hasn't reached his full potential, and you still have the Thunder out there, but what I love about Walker Kessler, he is one of the very best defensive players in the NBA. Last year, the Lakers...
Maybe. I'm just
look at the stats. Last year, the Lakers...
In his 5 games last year?
He had a labrum, though.
I understand.
He had a labrum.
It's a very, very small
He has the
sample
potential
size.
to be better than Rudy Gobert.
Potential is the key word here because the price the Lakers have paid is extraordinary. It's exorbitant. And the reality is that if it doesn't work, it is one of the biggest disasters in NBA history because they do not have any way to build around this team other than the players they have. But I'm not sure what choice they had. And can I also frame, I want to give you 2 points here, D-Mac, on D-Mac and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. We're talking about Walker Kessler, not just Kessler, a bunch of other dudes who've been brought in. Grimes is a Laker now. Mamu is a Laker. Colin Sexton is a Laker. DeAndre Ayton, who we celebrated the other day, is now the backup center. I mean, the team certainly looks better overnight. Entering free agency, the Lakers had 5 first-round assets. Now they have a pick swap in 2032. So they have literally traded away the entirety of the future. And I think one way to frame this, to maybe give a little bit of grace to Rob Pelinka, and I don't know if if it doesn't work, how you feel about giving Pelinka grace, and I think we'll break that down over the course of the show. But I think it's worth reminding people, and we're going to do a lot of LeBron conversations later. Every time LeBron James has ever left a team in free agency, he has left them destitute, broken, impoverished. There's an analogy that I use that my wife hates, so I'm going to do it again. Hope she's not listening because she doesn't like it. But I had a buddy once who dated an incredibly beautiful woman who was out of his league, and she was a crazy person, Doug. And she did everything but burn his house down. She bankrupted him. She ruined him spiritually. She broke his will. LeBron's like that. He's the seductive basketball player it's amazing. It's like Hollywood Nights by Bob Seger. It's great while it lasts. But man, when she and or he, LeBron, leaves, you're going to sit on that hill, you're going to look at L.A., and you're going to wonder what happened. The year after he left the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Cavs, who were in the conference finals his last year in Cleveland, went 19-63. Then he goes to Miami. They make 4 consecutive NBA finals. They win 2 of them. But in that last year, LeBron and the Heat lost to the Spurs, D-Mac. He leaves to go back to Cleveland. He shocks Pat Riley. Dwayne Wade finds out after they had an airplane ride together, and Miami, the year after LeBron, goes 37-45. He goes to Cleveland. He wins a championship. He has some fun. He goes to L.A. That next year, Cleveland goes 19-63. Pelinka's trying to do something that's never happened in the history of the NBA. He is trying to have a winning basketball team the year after LeBron James leaves. LeBron usually makes an assessment and says, I've used up the resources. I've used up the draft picks. Usually LeBron's made poor decisions in terms of what he wants. And then he just gets the hell out of town, and if they fall apart, they fall apart. They've got Luka Doncic, but they had real limitations on what they could do. I understand the desperation that Pelinka was acting under. Desperation either makes you pull a miracle or fail, and I think this is going to be one of those 2 things with no in-between.
But I also think, too, that this is the best that LeBron has ever left the franchise. I think this is absolutely.
Whoa.
Absolutely, 100%.
How?
Because this is like a divorce that was amicable where maybe you both got to keep the house.
It's not amicable.
I think it is.
He always pretends it's amicable.
They still have Luka Doncic, a top 3 player.
When
he left Miami, Wade was washed, Bosh was done. When he left Cleveland, they weren't anywhere.
Luka. If hold on. He's about, D-Mac and Reiter 97.1 The Fan. He's about to take a vet minimum, potentially. He has told the NBA through Rich Paul, we're not even speculating, it's public, I'll take less money to help a team win. If he cared about the Lakers, if he cared about Luka, if he cared about the purple and gold, with this roster, with the guys they just got, he would take that minimum for the Lakers and they'd be a better basketball team. He doesn't care about the Lakers. He cares about his ego.
I'm not saying he cares about the Lakers. I'm saying the fact that he's gone, because
leaving them in good shape would be taking the minimum and letting them do this.
If LeBron stayed, LeBron could have signed a contract, $20+ million, stayed on this team.
He could have done it for $5 million.
But it would have been for just 1 year, right? It would have been for just 1 year. With the Lakers, when you operate over the cap, you basically lose that roster spot, and now you have Quinn Grimes. Now you have, I'll give you another crack at it, Mamu Kalashvili. And they get Mamu, and he's someone that in the aggregate, you can get them together, and you can make sure that you have players that can help Luka, not just for one season that LeBron was going to be able to help this team. You can help them for 2 seasons. Why are you
kissing LeBron's ass on his way out of town?
I'm not kissing LeBron's ass at all.
He's been good to the Lakers. What a great way that he left. That's what you just said.
Look, like I said.
I just pointed out that every time he leaves a team, he leaves them in a situation where they fail the next year, and that's a challenge. And you said, no, man, he left them in great shape. Amicable
I'm saying this is an amicable divorce in the sense that, first of all, did LeBron not make his intentions known before free agency began. So the Lakers did not have to wait around for LeBron James and beg him to stay here. They were able to go out there and do their work, and they were able to pull off a deal for Walker Kessler.
You're too smart. I know you haven't been fooled by Rich Paul and LeBron. He's not there because the Lakers weren't going to prioritize him.
So you're more focused on where LeBron is at today. I think LeBron made a massive mistake. I think LeBron made a catastrophic mistake.
I'm focused on the history of organizations. Look, part of the
So are the Lakers in better shape today?
Part of the reason that the Lakers have no second-round picks and therefore the ability to make some adjustments is because they sent 3 of them out in 2024 to get Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton. That was for LeBron. Luka wasn't even on the team yet. My point is, LeBron uses up every resource a basketball team has for the future, for the present, but normally he uses them up in a way that's not effective because he's a bad GM. And then when the cupboard is bare and the coffers are empty and the party is over and the champagne is run dry, he's like, deuces, good luck. And history shows that. Cleveland, disastrous the year after he left. Miami, disastrous the year after he left. Cleveland again, disastrous the year after he left. Literally all these teams that made finals and conference finals and won championships with LeBron couldn't do anything without him, and they didn't have the resources to rebuild quickly. My entire point is I don't think he left them in good shape. I think if he left them in good shape, Rob Pelinka would not have overpaid, been the laughingstock of the NBA for Walker Kessler. Maybe it works, but I'm just trying to contextualize why Pelinka had to get fleeced by Utah. LeBron left him no choice. Pelinka still gets blamed if it doesn't work, but no, if LeBron had left him in good shape, they wouldn't have had to overspend on a center that played 5 games last year.
Look, I see what you're saying, right? And absolutely 100% in his past. And look, you were the LeBron expert. You were the guy that covered him in Miami. And you know better than anyone else that LeBron, he uses his teams that he plays for, and he maxes out those credit cards to get any assets that he can to try to win. Now, he's like that dude who goes on a dream vacation. It's great while you're there. You have an awesome time, but when it's time to pay the bill, he's no longer on your team. I said on the show yesterday, LeBron uses tenure like a private equity takeover. Short-term gains,
Smart.
But long-term assets are sold off, right? I agree with you. He does that. What I'm saying, though, is that first and foremost, this Laker team last year, without LeBron, where they start, they're 15-4 when you had Luka and Austin Reeves. They were still a pretty darn good basketball team without LeBron James last year. And when he left Cleveland the first time, when he left Miami the first time, when he went back to Cleveland, when he went to the Lakers, those teams were absolutely terrible. He was like a dude who threw a massive party and the whole entire place, he like messed up the whole house. And then when the repair bill came, he was like, I'm out, I'm gone. Like, I'm leaving, right? He didn't get the deposit back. Like, he's one of those guys. He absolutely leaves teams in shambles. But the point I'm trying to make is not that LeBron did anything for the Lakers outside of just, hey, we're informing the team earlier so they can make their moves. It's that, hey, because of the lucky swing of getting Luka Doncic, they're in a much better spot. And then the lucky swing of having Austin Reeves go from a non-drafted player to a max-level type of player, and then to get a Walker Kessler who has the potential to be a better version of Rudy Gobert. I mean, they're in a pretty good spot.
So here's what I'll say. Maybe we're agreeing without knowing it, and that would be on me. D-Mac and Reiter, 97.1 The Fan. Do you like this Lakers roster? Do you like the addition of Kessler and Grimes and Mamu and Sexton in exchange for LeBron and Rui and some other pieces that have left? 855-97 LA Fan. Here's my point. I think maybe we're saying the same thing. My bad if we are. I think LeBron screwed the Lakers. I think it forced Rob Pelinka to have to thread a very difficult needle that won't be anything we can assess until the season begins, and probably not even for 6 or 7 months. Here maybe is a positive potential outlook on why potentially Pelinka did a hell of a job, and this Lakers team will be very, very good. Number one, when the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander trade went down, that sent him to the Thunder, and that sent Paul George to the Clippers as part of the Get Kawhi trade all those years ago. I just went and watched this super clip last night just to remind myself. Every NBA person that mattered said the Clippers hosed, destroyed, owned, dominated Sam Presti in that trade. Everyone in the NBA thought the prize of that trade, that the real price that was valuable, was Paul George. It was Sam Presti alone who understood that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was the jewel of that trade. We didn't know that for years. Maybe Walker Kessler is markedly better than the NBA intelligentsia think and NBA Twitter who are mocking the Lakers right now. It happens. And you're right, like, groupthink is not reality. And I don't think there's a sport, and I can say this as somebody that's been an NBA insider, that is more conformist-oriented, that is more follow the leader, that is more, oh my God, I'm so worried what my colleagues think, not my readers or my listeners, than the NBA. And so groupthink takes over, and it takes over front offices. So maybe, now, the problem with this optimism is Pelinka ain't Sam Presti, but we don't know if it's Farhan Zaidi and Andrew Friedman pulling strings either, because Guggenheim now owns this team. That's positive note number one. Positive note number two is the conventional wisdom is don't trade away picks in order to try to build a team now. There's two people who have successfully sort of pushed back on this. You, my partner, Doug McCain, who in the context of the Dodgers always says parades, not picks, and the New York Knicks, who have reclaimed some of their picks, but have one of their own first-round picks between now and 29. And when they traded, what was it, guys? Was it 4 first-rounders for Mikal Bridges? I'm trying to do this from memory. They were widely mocked. I'm not saying this will fail. I think it's an interesting question mark. D-Mac and Reiter, 97.1 The Fan. I'm just saying that the Lakers had to gamble like a small market team like the Thunder had to gamble. The Thunder had to gamble because nobody would go to Oklahoma City by choice. The Lakers, I think, had to gamble because LeBron put them in a tough spot. But I don't know, maybe I'm jury's out on whether this is going to be a great team, but maybe the gamble, maybe it works out, dude.
Well, it's certainly a move you had to make. I mean, I think that if you are Rob Pelinka and you don't take action this offseason, you're not going to have opportunities down the road because Mark Walter and the powers that be, you are going to be fired, okay? Just like we talked about yesterday.
It's totally fair.
With
dude.
LeBron, where, hey, you talk about his son. We got in a nice little heated argument about Bronny James. We were talking about nepotism. And yes, I don't know who's taking Bronny to work anymore with LeBron. Going to be on another team. Rob is Kobe-tism, right? I mean, I want to say, like, he has this job because of Kobe Bryant, right? Because of the relationship with Jeanie Buss, because of his history with the Lakers. He was in a position where if you do not acquiesce to your star in Luka Doncic, if you don't go out there and make a meaningful move, then he is going to be packing his bags. And I look at it this way. Will this work? We don't know. Was this the right move based on how the roster is set up where you have two primarily offensive players in Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic? Think about this. How much better do you feel about just the net of Luka and Reeves? Because you got a player and you look at the numbers, sure, career 9-9, it doesn't tell the full story. If you look at defensively, he is on the level of a Rudy Gobert. And last season, the Lakers, they were the second worst rim protecting team in the NBA. They had the second highest field goal percentage against in the paint. You added someone that fixed the Lakers' biggest problem. And that's what Walker Kessler does. Did you have to give up picks?
Dude,
sure.
I am totally with you on paper. It looks amazing. And I'm not trying to be the negative person. I'm actually not. I am jury's out on this, and I am cautiously optimistic because Luka is so good. The only thing that makes me worried is the fact that Rob Pelinka made the decision-making. If I'm being honest, it does.
Yeah.
Walker Kessler hasn't played a lot. When he has played, he's been outstanding. And you're right. If you get into the data, his offensive rebounding numbers and his block numbers in terms of offensive rebounds and blocks per possession or per percentage of opportunity are elite, last 30 years, elite.
So you're worried about the overpriced nature of this.
I just think that here's the thing. Walker Kessler is not Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's not Anthony Davis at his prime. He's not even Karl Anthony Towns when there were question marks, in the sense of you don't know what his floor is. I'm with you that his ceiling is really, really high. His ceiling is super high, but his floor, I think, is lower because of the sample size, potentially. The price they paid is so stark and so
fair.
high. Oh, dude, no, they overpaid.
You have to overpay to a degree, but when you're trying to get RFAs, when you're trying to get players like that to move, you look at the AAV the way it is. The AAV is reasonable.
They didn't overpay
with the two first-round picks. But let me ask you this:
they didn't overpay for prime Joel Embiid, dude.
But what's the alternative here? Let me ask you a question.
But that's a different. I'm with you. But what's the alternative? When you are desperate, when you are cornered, when you are screwed, when you have to win your money back in Vegas. I understand why you take your last 1,000 and you put it on red. That doesn't make it a good bet statistically, even if it makes the bet reasonable given what you have to try to do.
How much?
They're different things.
Okay, let me ask you this, Bill. How much do you think the life jackets were on the Titanic? Do you think the life jackets were overpriced on the Titanic? Do you? They weren't.
No,
They're
dude.
priceless because this Lakers team is sinking without a move. It's not.
The analogy's wrong.
I don't believe it is because this team would be absolutely doomed. Luka could be gone. There's not any brand name centers.
Once they hit the iceberg, most of the people are going to die. The question is whether or not this day to day, these decisions, these trades, this is either the iceberg or it's the captain just missing the iceberg. That's the analogy. And you're not going to know until water starts to come into the ship in 6 months or not, dude.
The iceberg is Luka's gone. I mean, would you complain about
Luka will be gone if this doesn't work.
Would you complain about the price of a parachute after you jump out of a plane? No, you wouldn't because this was absolutely essential.
I don't understand where you trade everything away for Walker Kessler and me not saying now they're an NBA championship team makes me suddenly saying that it's a disaster. Like, why? You want to give them a parade already? You're from LA. You should know you have to earn success. This is not a guarantee. I understand why they did it. I don't hate that they did it. But because they were desperate because of LeBron, doesn't mean I have to close my eyes, D-Mac, and pretend that this is a sure thing. It's not a sure thing.
There's no sure things in all sports.
It's not. It is the furthest thing from, it's not an 80% thing. It might be if you're lucky, a 60-40 thing. And by the way, I'm here for the gamble. I'm here for getting it done. I'm here for doing it.
Play it safe, Bill.
No, don't play it stupid, Bill. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
I mean, you're straight on the desert. There's a ball of water. You're going to pay anything.
I understand the blue Kool-Aid, but now we're doing the purple and gold Kool-Aid?
I mean, look,
Come on, dude.
I think this
may not work. How dare you, Reiter? It may not work.
That made me laugh like the Joker. Sorry about that.
God.
You made me laugh, my man. I'm just saying
you're pushing my buttons on purpose. I knew it yesterday, and now I'm sure.
I really, truly believe in this move. After a night,
I talk to you off the air all the time. What are you talking about?
About Walker Kessler?
About pushing my buttons.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. Here, I'll go again.
I like it.
But here's the thing, Bill.
It's like a tickle.
Wow.
No, not like that. What is wrong with you?
Here's the thing, though. If you are committing to Luka, you are committing to Austin Reeves, after that, the focus is defensive-minded players. Who would you rather? I understand what you're saying.
Let me just frame it this way.
Okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. You're my guy, D-Mac and Reiter. Sorry about the tickle joke here on the new 97 on the Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Let me just frame it this way.
I'm really ticklish, too.
I am, too, dude. It's weird. 855-97 LA Fan. That's good, though, because apparently if you're...
Tickle the twine!
855-97 LA Fan, if you want to call us. And we see a bunch of you in the chat on the stream at the Fan LA. Thank you so much. Hit the like button, hit the bell button. Very cool to see so many of you in there. Here's my point. You said there's no sure thing. Right. Kawhi Leonard wasn't a failure in Los Angeles. He was such an epic failure that Bill Plaschke wrote a column 2 days ago, and you celebrated that column on these airwaves yesterday with me, that it was the worst, Bill Plaschke at the LA Times words, free agent signing in the history of Los Angeles. When Kawhi Leonard was traded to the Clippers, he was a free agent. You and me and everyone else said this is going to work. It's going to be amazing. They made a conference finals right off the bat. Then it was disastrous. It didn't work. If Kawhi Leonard can ruin an organization because you acquire him for 7-8 years, Walker Kessler can certainly be a question mark when you have to give away multiple picks. I mean, the notion that this is going to work is not true. The notion that we hope it works and we understand why Pelinka had to gamble, that's true.
But on paper, all those things are possible. But you have to take the gamble. You absolutely do. This is something that you could not avoid. And I think, too, give him some credit. I mean,
Pelinka?
Rob, absolutely. And, I'm not the biggest Pelinka guy.
You sound like
I think
it.
It's
his name on the back of your U.S. men's national team jersey?
It's not.
If it is, I'm leaving.
It actually says D-Mac.
Okay.
But, I mean, you have to take those risks, right? I mean, if you're a chess player refusing to make a move because every move has risk, you're just going to forfeit because you're going to delay. You have to make a move. I do love chess.
I do too. And if you make a move hastily because you're panicked,
this isn't a panic move, though. I think it's a very calculated. Wait, hold on.
Dude,
hold on.
Oh my God.
Wait. Bill, the Lakers have been interested in Walker Kessler for a long time. There's been a lot of scouting.
Stop pretending like Walker Kessler's a top 7 player.
I think Walker Kessler is going to be an all-star center with the Lakers.
They're betting on the come here, which I understand, and what's maybe going to happen. They overpaid him, and they overpaid him in dollars, and they overpaid him in draft picks. And I'm not saying that is a mistake. I am saying that it might be. And if it's a mistake, because they have no more picks and they have no more flexibility.
I mean, what's your sure thing? A great player can train and get injured. I mean, of course.
okay, you want to go to semantics? We can go to semantics. You want me to be exactitudes? We can do exactitudes. Most guys that come in like a Kawhi Leonard or LeBron James or Anthony Davis or whoever it is are a 90% certainty they don't always come through. This is more like a 50% certainty at best. And I understand the gamble. You know what? We've gone super long because we're arguing and we're having fun. 855-97. By the way, it does say McCain on his back. 855-97.
I had to make fun of me for wearing other jerseys.
I wasn't making fun of you. I was trying to understand why you went from Pelinka sucks to I love Rob Pelinka in the matter of like 24 hours. Okay, that's fair. 855-97, LA fan. Do you think this roster, that this team, the additions of Kessler and Grimes and Mamu and Sexton, is good enough to compete in the West? And do you think the Lakers made the right decision in going out and putting these guys together, especially the price they paid for Walker Kessler, 4 years, $130 million, basically 4 first-round picks, 2 unprotected first-rounders and 2 pick swaps? We will take your calls at 855-97 LA Fan. We will read your comments from the stream on YouTube at The Fan LA, and D-Mac and I will apparently keep arguing about it next here on D-Mac and Reiter. Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. We are discussing a huge day for the Lakers. Walker Kessler is a Laker, or will be when these moves go through. 4-year, $130 million deal, $32.5 million per year on average. He has a player option in the fourth year. It cost the Lakers, for the Utah big man, a first-round unprotected pick in 31 and 33 and 2 first-round pick swaps. That's a heavy haul. And then free agents, Quentin Grimes comes in at about $15 million a year over 4 years. Mamu comes in from Toronto. That's a nice pickup. He's a character, too. 4 years, basically $13 million a year. And I really like, we didn't even get into this, D-Mac, Colin Sexton, 2 years, about $9.5 million. They've got shooting, they've got some athleticism, they've got some defenders, and we've got calls and comments. So you want to get to them?
Let's get it, baby.
855-97 LA Fan. If you want to call us, the stream on YouTube with a very thriving, bustling community there in the comment section at the Fan LA. Go hang out, push the like button, push the bell button. Social Red 16. D-Mac spitting straight fire. 100% agree with him. Ivan Reed 9511. Lakers will be okay after life with LeBron. Asterisk 1978, the year I was born. Lakers had 6 losing seasons and couldn't make a winning draft pick to save their lives when they had one. And doing it poor, no. Can someone tell me if they see my comments, please? Not only do we see your comments, we are reading your comments because we appreciate you hanging out on D-Mac and Reiter on 97.1 The Fan. Let's go to Caesar. He's hanging out in L.A. Caesar, big day for the Lakers. Curious to hear if you like the day or not. What's up, brother? You're on D-Mac and Reiter.
Yeah, fellas, appreciate you guys taking my call.
Yes, sir.
And to build to your point, I think you guys both could be right at the same time. But if I had to lean in one direction, I'm leaning toward D-Mac's side. Definitely the move for Walker Kessler was a move that Pelinka and the front office had to do, not only because Pelinka's job's on the line, but just as everything that D-Mac said. Luka's, he's been waiting out for this summer specifically, and this is somebody that they've been wanting to target. I think for me, something that you guys haven't been touching on that I think is a little bit more important is the decision to let Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard walk away for basically pennies. You let Marcus Smart go and sign with another Western Conference contender in the Rockets for less than $7 million a year. Same thing with Kennard, who you just traded second-round picks assets for, and you're not going to retain for less than $7 million a year. And you're going to replace that production with Quentin Grimes when you're paying over $13 million a year. And I like the Sandro Mamu. I like the Mamu signing. He's a pretty versatile, big who can stretch the floor. So that's promising. But at the same time, I don't know if that's worthy of a replacement of Rui. When you're talking about three of the 5 players that helped them advance past the first round without Luka Doncic, and not only to mention that you're committing $475 million to 3 players, of which arguably only one of them is in the top 10.
Amen, dude.
Austin Reeves. I love Austin Reeves, but
no, you're right. Caesar, not arguably, only one of them's in the top 10. That's a great phone call. So, Caesar, thank you for the call at 855-97 LA Fan. And there's a ton of you in the chat on YouTube at the Fan LA. Awesome, cool. Please hit the like button. Please hit the bell button. And if you want to call in, 855-975-2326. 855-975-2326. This reminds me of you and I arguing over a draft pick. If it were 7 draft picks in the first round, where you're like, they're going to be great. And I'm like, I don't know. There's just so much risk. But part of my worry, part of what informs my... Look, there's 2 things that informs my thinking here. One, I've covered the NBA for a really long time. I have covered a lot of fan bases who make big moves. And every fan base in every city in America, including this one, including my co-host, goes, this is amazing. They had to do it. It's so great. It's going to work. And then a year or 2 later, when 50 or 60% of the time it goes totally south and it's a disaster, people are like, this is... The front office's job is to make the right decisions, not to make fans happy in the moment. Their job is to make fans happy 7 or 8 months from now, not on a Wednesday where it's like we're getting the sugar high, we're getting the rush of these moves happening. And the other thing that makes me worried is that Pelinka's the guy making the decisions. And as Caesar just pointed out, D-Mac, and I think it's an important thing just remember, they don't have any second-round picks for 2 reasons. 1, they misused them to go get guys for LeBron a couple years ago. 2, they went and they got guys for this past season using second-round picks in some cases and then didn't bring them back. If Marcus Smart had gone and made $12 million a year, I would have understood why he was somewhere else. He took a 2-year deal at $6.5 million per year with a Rockets team that I promise you, whatever they're talking about on the Odyssey station in Houston, Texas, they have as much optimism about this upcoming season as Lakers fans do. And they should, because they're in a similar range. And so maybe Pelinka's an idiot on half these things and he's brilliant on today's moves, but I have a lot of trepidation to commit myself to saying this is totally going to work.
Well, here's the thing, and I think you are absolutely taking a pragmatic approach about this, right? I think that where the Lakers are at and the way the roster is set up and the things that Caesar was saying too about Marcus Smart, I think speak to a deeper issue with Rob Pelinka as far as asset management goes. But when you look at those picks, if you have an issue with Rob Pelinka and you have the issue with the way he drafts, which is poorly, I would rather see him use those picks on proven, established, developed talent versus giving him the freedom to make those picks. And as you point out, yeah, they only have a 2033 second rounder and a 2032 first round swap left. It's going to be a long time before they have a first round pick with the step-in rules and things like that. This is their core. You're absolutely right on that.
This is the team.
This is the team.
Can I do a little more positivity for you
Yeah.
with some details? Because again, I'm not making a declarative statement about this is going to work or not work. I'm just trying to get my mind around the math. Here's what I'm saying. Rob Pelinka bet the entirety of the future on this day. Like, this day will define the Los Angeles Lakers for the next 7 or 8 years. And if it works, awesome. And if it doesn't, it's going to be deep, deep poo-poo, right? In the parlance of my children when they were younger. Here's the good news on that. And again, I think the news is complicated. I think it's going to take a while to digest. And if you want to help us digest it and sort of make sense of it, phone number is 855-97 LA Fan, and there's a lot of you in the chat over on YouTube at the Fan LA, at the Fan LA. You can also go to DMAC_LA or SportsWriter. We've tweeted it out too, and find the link there. Okay, the Lakers did get younger. Here is their age by roster, which actually is pretty exciting. They were a pretty old team last year. Austin Reeves is 28. He's the oldest guy on the team. Luka Doncic is 27. Sandro Mamu crushed it, is 27. Colin Sexton is 27. Ayton is 27. Vandy's 27. Grimes is 26. Kennard is 25. Kessler's 24, which is very young for his position. Big men, and I know you know this, so like this is to your point, big men always take longer to develop than guards. I once had a GM explain it to me in simple terms. He's like a point guard, a guard has the ball in their hands all the time. A big man, especially a traditional one like Kessler, who's not a shooter, doesn't. They literally have less opportunity to have the ball and to develop at an NBA level. So it takes them a couple more years. All right, Kessler's 24. LaRavia is 24. This Bronny James kid that you love, that you think is a future, top 5 player in the league. Just kidding. I lied about what my partner thinks is 21. And Cam Carr, who I am so excited about now because he doesn't have to be the guy overnight, is 21. So they did get hellaciously younger, so maybe there is a plan. Maybe this does work. I'm just not sure.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, the big fear that I do have is now where do you get your wings? Because you don't have assets. You don't have anyone in the pipeline that you feel like is a slam dunk to get that done. Having said that, you can't teach height. You can't teach young, as you mentioned. And if you're the Lakers with Walker Kessler, you focus on not just what he's looked like when he's been at his very best, which, I mean, look at that 2024-2025 season, averaged 12.2 rebounds per game, 4.6 rebounds on the offensive glass. Like, we're talking about someone that you just can't keep off the glass. He's one of the very best rebounders in the game, and I think there is the soft hands on the rolls that Rudy Gobert doesn't have, that he can benefit from when he plays with Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic, 2 playmakers, and there is some talk that he is going to develop, hopefully, from beyond the arc. So I think that when you're the Lakers and you look at this as a core piece, it really is just doubling down on Luka Doncic. I think that is the biggest thing here, where the Lakers didn't just give Luka Doncic the keys of the franchise. They gave him the pink slip, right? It's your car now. You're running this
thing. I thought
thing.
you meant like he got fired.
I get the slip. He owns the
My
car.
bad. I thought a pink slip was a firing slip.
Oh, he's not getting fired.
Okay.
But yeah,
I'm sorry.
Look,
I'm locked in.
He's their cornerstone, right? Now Austin Reeves the cornerstone. Now Kessler's a cornerstone. So that is where they are.
So Austin Reeves and Kessler are cornerstones, and it could work, but I promise you that the entirety of the rest of the country's NBA community is mocking that very fact you just said. I'm not saying it won't work. I'm just saying that we have to be, you know what? Let's keep the debate going. We're going to get to your comments. We want your phone calls. 855-97-LA fan. We will take a few calls. We'll get to comments from I Don't Really Exist 92. We'll get to a comment from Arthur Mannon Z9W. We'll get to a lot of your thoughts and perspectives next year as we keep talking Lakers on a day that will shape their franchise for a decade. That's next on D-Mac and Reiter. presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports, accident or injury. Visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. So yesterday was the day LeBron said goodbye, or pretended to say goodbye. We'll get into that later. He may have just been kicked to the curb. Bill Plaschke of the LA Times certainly thinks that was going to be the case. And today is the day that the Lakers showed the world in free agency what the post-LeBron era looks like. We knew it had Luka Doncic, D-Mac, Walker Kessler, a lot of money, a lot of picks, Quentin Grimes, Mamu, Colin Sexton. Those are the core guys that have been added to this team. It is interesting, it is exciting, and we are breaking it all down right now. We want your comments at The Fan LA on YouTube or on the phone line at 855-97-LA-FAN. I don't really exist 92. People want to get quality players or upgrades for Kennard and Smart and expect to pay pennies on the dollar. And Arthur Mannon, Z9W, the defense automatically will be better without LeBron standing still and pointing when he chooses to get back on D. That's actually a good point that we haven't really talked about. How many times last year were you watching a game when you just see LeBron not go back on D and I'd be screaming at my television? There didn't feel like there was a lot of, he didn't put the hard work in, dude.
That's true. I mean, that's the thing, too. I mean, I think that's where the defensive upgrades had to be made. I think you talk about guys like Luke Kennard, you talk about guys like Marcus Smart. And yes, I think that Marcus Smart was a major asset for the team last season. I don't think they beat the Houston Rockets without Marcus Smart. He was that dog. He was that toughness. But the same reason why the Lakers were able to get Marcus Smart are also the same reasons why you might not want to bring him back. And that is that he's on the older side, north of 30, wrong side of 30, also has dealt with injuries for the last several years. And yes, that is bad asset management. There's no doubt about that. But there has been this infusion of younger players. I look at a guy like Quinn Grimes. He's someone that is a defensive-minded player, a guy that on some nights I think he's going to be better than Austin Reeves. That's how good of a scorer he has the potential to be.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
Dude. And he's a good player. No, you're right. I like the Grimes move. I like the Mamu move. I like the Sexton move. Those moves are not particularly problematic in terms of risk. It's the Kessler move that's really, and it's interesting. It's not a disaster. I will say this. Yesterday, you and me liked Jalen Duren a lot more than Walker Kessler. But beggars can't be choosers. I think that's my point, is that the Lakers were beggars. They were gamblers, and I know they had to overspend because Utah could match. Kessler was a restricted free agent, and so that's part of the reason this deal went down. I'm going to ask you to totally speculate, and if you don't know, you can just say you don't know. I'm curious to what degree you think that the Dodgers ownership group, knowing Friedman and Farhan Zaidi reportedly were in every meeting as the Lakers sort of figuring out their plan for hiring new personnel, to what degree do you think they were involved in agreeing to these moves, given it ties up a lot of their future?
Such a great question, which was a fly on the wall, right, in the decision makers, the Lakers facility, because the way the Dodgers do things is they're committed to a process, and they will not rush to judgment. They also put different opinions in the room at all times. And Andrew Friedman, I think, starts to get weary when everyone starts to agree with him, right? He does not like to be surrounded by sycophants. He does not like to be surrounded by yes men. He wants difference of opinion. And I do think that in this decision-making process, knowing that you basically emptied the clip on the assets for Walker Kessler, that there was a lot of involvement for decision-makers. I would not be shocked if there was some Dodgers brain trust angles to this, just because, hey, we own the restaurant now. We get to decide what's on the menu, right? So I definitely think there was a lot of that. And to get back to your point, too, what you said about Jalen Duren, look, if the Dodgers had influenced them to go Jalen Duren, we don't know if that could have been a possibility. With a Kessler, that was the sure thing. I still think both have a lot of upside. I both think the durability of Duren is very attractive, but I still think that the defensive first mindset, maybe today, I know I said yesterday, I'm not flip-flopping. I would have been very happy to get Duren. I probably still would like Duren over Kessler.
Nobody's accusing you of flip-flopping.
You did during the break.
I did not accuse you of flip-flopping. I simply...
You said I changed like the wind.
You said I changed like the wind.
That's right.
You're such... That's right. You're not allowed. You're a person who just said the opposite of what was true. Whatever that is.
But I certainly do. I absolutely 100% do. I mean, I think that if you are the Lakers and you're not taking advantage of – see, this is where I'd be very concerned about Rob Pelinka, right? Which I already am very concerned. If I wake up at 3:30 in the morning in a cold sweat, I'm thinking of Rob Pelinka having to make decisions, right? And I would be very concerned if Rob Pelinka wasn't saying, hey, come here, Dodgers. You built the best dynasty in baseball. What do you have to say about this? What are your thoughts on this move? Is that the approach that Rob Pelinka is having? Or is it, no, I'm still the GM for now. Stay out of my GM room. This is my war room. I get to make those decisions.
Yeah, or a smoother version of, because I've met the man. He's very charming. But yeah, it's interesting. D-Mac and Reiter here, 97.1 The Fan. The new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. If you want to call and talk about these Lakers moves, 855-97 LA Fan. Here's some. I'm looking for positivity, and this is one thing. Quentin Grimes, who I think he'll be the three, right? He'll be the starting three. So it's going to be Luka and Reeves in the backcourt, Grimes at the 3, Mamu at the 4, and Kessler at the 5, with actually a level of depth that's kind of interesting because Colin Sexton is a backup now. DeAndre Ayton's the backup big man. There's a lot of reports out there. I'm not a cap expert that if you stretch and wave Vandy, you can actually create some extra space. So they might have a little more maneuverability. And maybe Cam Carr comes into his own. And maybe Bronny James playing, I don't believe this, but maybe, playing 12 or 15 minutes a night without his dad around, you can kind of focus. Here's another thing that I think is really interesting and something I've lost track of, because sometimes the most obvious thing in your life is the easiest thing to sort of not appreciate. I live near the ocean. I drive by the ocean on the way to work, and I sometimes forget to remind myself how beautiful it is. Luka Doncic is that thing. He is a spectacle. He is a force of basketball nature. They've built a team around him that's going to be maybe perfect for him. It's not easy sometimes to be a superstar with another superstar. It's not easy to know how to carry yourself. One of the great realities of Steph Curry's greatness is he embraced Kevin Durant, and Steph pretended he was the number 2 for several years to win. And one of the realities of Kevin Durant's career is even though Steph did that, he wasn't able, Kevin Durant, to be comfortable. He had to leave. I wouldn't be surprised if Luka Doncic wasn't comfortable around LeBron. In part because LeBron's a top 2 player of all time, and in part because LeBron makes people uncomfortable. And I think he makes them, if someone who's covered him, uncomfortable on purpose because he wants to be the alpha. There was an old expression about Frank Sinatra where they said Frank Sinatra was the greatest guy in the world if you were in the Rat Pack, or as long as you knew that he ran the Rat Pack. LeBron is the same way. And when another Frank Sinatra comes into the mix, I think maybe LeBron probably made his life hard, and maybe Luka tried to be a professional. I'm just speculating, be a professional and got along with him, but it wasn't. What I'm saying is you might see the freest and happiest Luka you've seen in several years with this upcoming Lakers team. The additions are great. What they say to Luka Doncic about this is actually your team in reality, in the locker room, in the vibes, not just on the floor, I think is a really important part of maybe, just maybe, why this works. It's D-Mac and Reiter on the new 97.1, The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. We're going to take more of your comments and more of your calls, 855-97 LA Fan, if you want to give us a holler, or just get in the comment section on the YouTube stream at The Fan LA. Is LeBron's exit the best thing that could have happened for Luka? We'll dive into that next. D-Mac and Reiter.
They have this.
All right, welcome back into the show, D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. If you want to call us, we want to hear from you. We're talking about the Lakers' massive moves that they made today. And the phone number to talk about Walker Kessler and the 4 picks. It's 2 first-round unprotecteds and 2 pick swaps that went out for him to bring in a big man, pay him 4 years and $130 million. Plus, they went out and they spent some money on Grimes and Mamu and Colin Sexton. If you want to talk about it, 855-97-LA fan. But first, we want to thank you. We want to give you something, or at least give you an opportunity to win something, I should say. Because if you want to be in the building when LA decides it's champion, this is the chance. 310 Originals in 97.1 The Fan is giving you tickets to the City Championship Celebrity Challenge to Deshaun Jackson versus Keyshawn Nixon, July 11th in Harbor City. Paul Pierce, YG, Matt Barnes, Jordan Love, and more with Marathon Burger. $40 gets you in, or to listen to win. This is LA's game, and we're going to give away tickets right now. Caller number, should we do 4 for the 4 picks that we're giving away?
Quattro.
For Kessler? Caller number 4 gets 2 tickets to the City Championship Celebrity Challenge right now. 855-97-LA fan, 855-975-2326. Speaking of calls, let's go to Mike in Riverside. Mike, thanks for listening, buddy. We appreciate you spending time here. You're on D-Mac and Reiter.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, dude?
All right. So I got a lot of mixed feelings too about the whole Lakers roster. So on one hand, signing Kessler was probably the number one goal of not just the Lakers organization, but of all Lakers fans, because everybody knows how much of a good rim protector, how much of a good lob threat he is, which is basically what Luka wants. But at the same time, I think Rob Pelinka just overthought this whole offseason as well, you know? He let a lot of our players go. Letting Braun go is one thing, because I don't see Braun as the whole long-term option. But players like Smart, Rui, Kennard, Jax, I'm like, why didn't you at least sign at least two of those guys, like Smart and Rui? You at least sign 2 or 3 of those guys, and then you sign a guy like Kessler, and then a starting 3-and-D guy, and then probably another guy like Grimes, you know? That's basically your roster right there.
Yeah, no, dude, it's a good shout, dude. Mike, thank you for the call. I mean, some of it might be to get younger, right? I mean, as we noted earlier, Austin Reeves is now but Rui's not old. What is Rui, 28, I think? I mean, it's some of it might be to get younger, and some of it might just, I mean, it is clearly the calculation, the belief that you'd rather have Mamu than Rui, that you'd rather have a lot of these guys. All right, let's go through the starting 5, and you tell me if you think you roll out Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves in the backcourt. You've got Quentin Grimes at the 3. Mamu with his tattoos and his interesting, he's a character, is the 4. And you've got Walker Kessler, who the analytics and the data say is really, really, he's elite at offensive rebounding and at shot blocking, an incredible rim protector. And we know that guys that can get to the basket offensively and just get easy buckets, Luka will create opportunities and shots for those guys. And just the need to sort of protect the paint defensively, you're playing against the Luka Doncic teams, creates all kind of space. He exerts a certain level of gravity on the game if he has the right players around him that makes everybody better. So how good is that starting 5 for you?
It depends a lot on the development of Austin Reeves. Before the calf injury last year, averaging 28, we saw how Luka looked like in March. You need Luka to continue to ascend and for him to have an MVP caliber season, and for Austin Reeves to maybe have an all-NBA, maybe third-team all-NBA and all-star level season, and Walker Kessler to emerge. But I still think the youth and the upside is certainly there. I think from a standpoint of, can this team win 50-plus games and be a top 4 seed in the West? I do think that's on the table. I really, truly do. I believe that much in Kessler. I really do. I believe that much in Luka Doncic. I think kind of going back to where you talked about in that first segment and also in the second segment too was I love what you said about how it's tough to evaluate what this team is post Luka, Lakers, LeBron, how this could be a freer version of Luka Doncic. And I think you're absolutely right. I mean, After Shaq was gone, it was a different version of Kobe.
Dude,
and when Kobe started to get some pieces. So what if we're looking at a Luka Doncic that maybe it's Wemby's league, but if he's clearly the head of that second tier where it's Joker, where it's Shea, and he still hasn't played his best basketball, I love it.
Luka Doncic is the most accomplished player in the NBA not to have won an NBA championship, and you can sort of debate or argue whether he's the best. Okay, here are some interesting sort of critical three-point shooting is really important. It's going to be really important on this team. One thing about Kessler is he's not a three-point shooter, although people will point out he had one game where I think he made that went 3 of 5.
They're going to develop it.
But he's not right. But that's not a thing he does right now.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Grimes, 33% three-point shooter last year. Like, not amazing, but he'll take them, and he's a really good player defensively. Mamu shot 39% from 3 last year in Toronto, and he took threes. It's not like he took 3 a game. He took 5 or 6 per game. He can hit a three-point shot. Colin Sexton, who I think, by the way, is grossly underrated. I've liked Colin Sexton since he was first in Cleveland. I think he's a really good player, and if you have him as a guy, as a guard that's not one of your starting guards, he's your backup guard. That is he's basically going to come in and sort of be the guy for the second team. I love that. Last year, he shot 49, 40, 86, dude. I mean, this guy was almost a 50, 40, 90 guy last season. He's a really good shooter. And then Austin Reeves shot 36% from 3 last year. We've talked about the fact that he needs that number to improve and to go up. He can catch fire. The thing about Reeves is he is capable of being, you know what he is? He's almost a very poor man's Klay Thompson, when Klay Thompson was really good. Because there is a world where Austin Reeves can just take over a quarter and win you a basketball game in the third quarter or the fourth quarter. If Walker Kessler is really, really good, it's a really interesting Lakers team, and they're young.
Yeah, and I think the Grimes is the biggest factor, too. You look at his numbers. When he was starting in games last year, Grimes averaged 16.7 points per game, 4.2 assists, and a steal. Like, he is someone that could be a massive steal for the Lakers in that role. And he's got the little connection of, you saw he posted a picture of himself in a Lakers uniform when he was a baby. He's clearly excited to be here.
Right,
and you
cool.
look at the rest of that starting 5, you got guys that are in defining roles, right? It doesn't feel like it's, your turn, my turn with Luka, Reeves, and LeBron James. It doesn't feel like you have 3 quarterbacks and no offensive line. Now it feels like you have an elite quarterback with a potential elite offensive line, because you have a true 3-and-D wing in Quinn Grimes. You have a rim runner, a rim protector in Walker Kessler. I think Mamu, too. I mean, there's some upside there. So I think that you're going to see more continuity with this team. And if you're asking me, too, I mean, like I said, last year this team started 15-4, and that roster now I think is better than that roster. I mean, I just don't think that people realize what this team looks like with better defense and more consistency. I do have some more thoughts on Rob we can get into in a little bit, because I think there's a lot in play there. But from what he did with the resources available, with the players that are available, I still think that this is something that you have to feel good about if you're a Lakers fan right now.
You just hit the nail on the head. By the way, congratulations to John here in L.A. You won a pair of tickets to the City Championship Celebrity Challenge at Narbonne High School on July 11th. Deshaun Jackson and Keyshawn Nixon lead as the biggest stars in One Night Celebrity Basketball Showdown. Tickets and info at 310originals.com. So we all bring our own baggage, our own perspective to these moments, right? And this moment for Los Angeles, for the Lakers, D-Mac, it is, for better or worse, like a marriage, it is a huge day. The Lakers just wedded themselves to this team for at least the next 7 or 8 years. They don't have the picks or the money to make any adjustments, not really. And part of my hesitation here on D-Mac and Reiter, on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, to lean into the optimism and excitement that should accompany the rush of news of Kessler and Grimes and Mamu and Colin Sexton joining Austin Reeves, who got paid, and the day after LeBron left, is Rob Pelinka. And one thing that I've said to you a lot, and I've just learned in my time covering the NBA and covering the NFL before that, and just doing the sports writing, sports media thing for years before we got to work together, is that GMs don't operate in their team's best interest. They operate in their own best interest. And you hope that the Venn diagram of those two things overlaps significantly enough, if you're a fan of that team, that it goes well. But GMs, especially on the hot seat or the approaching hot seat, will do what it takes to keep their job. They will act desperately. I am telling you, if Rob Pelinka owned the basketball team and was the forever GM like Jerry Jones, he would not necessarily have felt the same pressure to get Walker Kessler. He might have still gotten Kessler. And so part of my, doesn't mean it's not going to work. And process is different than results. It is, even if you want to be process-oriented. I'm just worried that the process that got us to these results is Rob Pelinka, to quote you, buddy, waking up at 3:30 in the morning in a dead sweat, thinking about what if we don't do it right? What if I can't find a center? What if Luka gets mad? What if he wants to leave? What if Andrew Friedman stops hanging out with me and starts thinking about firing me? I am worried that the guy that made the decision is A, Rob Pelinka, and B, Rob Pelinka, who was under massive, massive pressure.
That's the biggest thing, because we could look back and Rob Pelinka could just be saying to us, hey, I know I'm getting fired. I'm just going to make sure that I trade all my remaining picks, all my assets, so that my replacement isn't going to have anything to make any deals, to make any trades. I mean, that is something that I think Rob has on the back of his mind is, hey, I am either going to have success in the near future or it is going to get ugly for whoever replaces me eventually. I think there's a lot of people that would do that. I mean, if the Lakers don't win a championship or appease Luka Doncic with this group and Luka opts out, you're looking at giving Utah 2 pick swaps, 2 unprotected first-round picks from a Laker team that doesn't have Luka Doncic. There's a world, and I hate to say this, where he's robbed Pelinka years from now because he's supposed to be someone that helped this team. A couple years from now, this doesn't work out. It'll look like Danny H. pimp slapped him.
Sorry to interrupt you. That was funny.
It's a weird thing to end with.
We have Shams major news. The Boston Celtics. We're sure this is the real Shams account? Okay, you're sure. This is crazy. The Boston Celtics have agreed to trade Jaylen Brown to the 76ers for Paul George, 2 first-round picks, and 2 second-round picks. Sources tell ESPN. I am sorry, Jaylen Brown. Yeah. We'll get back to
that's wild stuff.
Lakers stuff. But like that's
NBA offseason. Injected to my veins. Here, let's go.
Here's the good news.
Sorry.
Let's do it again.
Let's go.
What'd you say, soccer boy?
Woo!
I'm glad that Jaylen Brown is not going to the Western Conference. And here's my takeaway, and here's how I think it connects to the Lakers. My first reaction is Jaylen Brown is screwed. Because everyone that goes to Philly underperforms and plays badly. And that is one thing about Quentin Grimes that makes me a little optimistic. Grimes played for the Sixers last year. Remember when Tobias Harris left the Sixers and then played well for half a hot second when he went to Detroit? I mean, even Tobias Harris, who went to the Spurs today. Philly is an absolute graveyard of talent and ability and opportunity. I feel bad for Jaylen Brown. I'm very glad Jaylen Brown is not going somewhere in the Western Conference.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely is the first thing that comes to mind, too, is one less team in your conference that you have to deal with. But, man, if you're Jaylen Brown, you're going to the Sixers. I mean, that is a trade for a team that honestly is a little mini rivalry for Boston. And then you get the Paul George angle to it. Jaylen Brown, I think, has managed to become one of the more underrated stars in this league, too. So it's definitely a move where, hey, the NBA is changing as far as you're getting some power shifts. This is not one that goes from conference to conference, though. This is going in the same conference. So I don't love that move for Boston. I really, truly don't. I think that Jaylen Brown is a winning player. So that's a wild one, man.
D-Mac and Reiter 97.1 The Fan. Okay, so yesterday free agency began at 3 o'clock, right? I want to ask you a LeBron Lakers question here. You're not supposed to, you're not actually allowed to, air quotes, talk to free agents who aren't your own free agents. So you can't talk to Quentin Grimes. You can't talk to Mamu. You can't talk to Colin Sexton. You can't talk to Walker Kessler, although he was in L.A. until 3 o'clock yesterday. I have a lot of trouble believing that these deals all got done between 3 o'clock yesterday and 9 or 8 this morning when all this news started to break, 9 or 10 this morning. There's no way that's the case. Which means, I think, D-Mac, if you follow my logic, and I'm right, and I think I am, having covered the sport, that the Lakers kind of knew this was the general direction they were going to go. Which means LeBron probably had an idea this is the direction they were going to go. Do you think LeBron James was kicked off of this team in the sense of they said, we are not going to pay you the money that you want. We are going to target some of these guys, and if you can take a discount, we're here for that. Because I do. I think Bill Plaschke was right yesterday when he speculatively wrote, LeBron said goodbye before they could throw him out.
What I've been saying for the last couple of days, right? What I said that it's like when you break up with your girlfriend, but your stuff is already at the door and she's already packed it up. Like, she already broke up with you, dude, right? That's the truth. The divorce lawyers have already been in contact with, right? So I think for the Lakers and for LeBron, there was certainly a, hey, how do we handle this from a PR standpoint? We know LeBron's ego probably couldn't take anything less than that. And I do think, though, that this was a massive mistake for LeBron James. I truly 100% do, because clearly LeBron and his camp did not want to pursue the Lakers first and say, wait a second, you guys can still get Kessler? Wait a second, I can come back on $20 million? Sure, you're not going to have Grimes. Sure, you're going to have some other roster moves you're going to have to make. But the truth is, there is a universe where next season the Lakers have Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, you've got Walker Kessler, and LeBron James, and you got some moving pieces. So I still think that LeBron James made a catastrophic mistake by not getting the Lakers the opportunity, because he's ultimately probably going to sign, a room exception with the Cavaliers, when you could be with the Lakers on a team that has potentially the best player that you're going to play with. So, yeah, I absolutely think that the Lakers kind of hinted to this. They made it known that, hey, Luka's the landlord.
I totally agree. And I'm looking at this. LeBron James, I think the biggest difference in how the Lakers have conducted themselves this time around versus every other time that I've ever covered the Lakers in free agency is that they didn't buckle under the weight of LeBron James trying to play his games. 3 or 4 weeks ago, and Burge or DMAC, remind me if I'm getting the dates wrong, there was a report that came out. There's all these reports that swirl around LeBron. It's hard to know which are real. But there was a report that came out where LeBron said, I will take less money to go somewhere else, but not the Lakers. And that to me felt like a very calculated leak by LeBron's camp to threaten LA. In the past, they would have buckled. And I don't know if the reason that the Lakers stood firm this time, the reason that the first time that LeBron couldn't manipulate LA or push them around is because the Dodgers ownership group, as I think represented by Andrew Friedman, because he's been in some of these meetings, basically said to Pelinka, we're not going to play that game. Or if Pelinka grew a spine, or I think maybe this is a big part of it, and this is Jeanie Buss might have said goodbye to LeBron and X, but she's not the owner of the Lakers anymore. She might be the governor of the team, but she's not actually in charge of the Lakers. LeBron's ability to basically bully, strong-arm the Lakers for a long time was his access to Jeanie Buss. And I don't want to say this, but it's true, so I'm going to say it because I really like Jeanie a lot. We're not friends, but we were very friendly in our sort of interactions, and I am friends with her husband, Jay Moore, the real one, not the one that pretended he was Jay Moore. The best thing that ever happened to the Lakers, the reason LeBron might be gone, the reason, whether these moves work or don't work, that they feel like they're operating like a professional basketball operation is probably because Jeanie's not in charge anymore. Because when Jeanie went away, so did LeBron's ability to make decisions. And my guess is that LeBron's not a Laker, and he's going to take less money to go somewhere else because he took his ball and went home because they wouldn't let him be the main guy. Because if LeBron really cared about the Lakers, if he really cared about winning, if what he's told us, not what I'm speculating, that, and I'm not judging him as a father, I'm just quoting what's been out there about LeBron, that his desire to be near his daughter, who's in high school here in LA, that his love for LA, that his desire to stay in this part of the country, if that was real, and if what Rich Paul is telling us is real, which we'll play you later in the show here on DMAC and Reiter, that LeBron just wants to be happy, and LeBron just wants to try to win, and LeBron just wants a good place, and he'll take less money. If that's all true, why on earth would you not sign up for less money to stay home, be around your family, and love LA, and have a starting team of Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Mamu, and Walker Kessler? That I think you probably could have found a way. And you're right, Quentin Grimes goes away, and maybe like Vandy goes away too to sort of facilitate the numbers on that. But the takeaway for me is that whether the Lakers wanted LeBron or wanted LeBron at less money, I think LeBron, whether the Lakers didn't want LeBron or they wanted him at less money, I think LeBron saw it as the same thing, as a distinction without a difference. And that to me is good riddance. Not because he's not a great player, not because he didn't deserve a lot of love and respect for what he did, but because this guy is about to go take a lot less money to play on a team that, we'll see, Are the Miami Heat more formidable than this Lakers team if LeBron's on this Lakers team? I don't know, man.
Exactly. I mean, that's why I think that this is going to end LeBron's career on a catastrophic mistake, because now he has the biggest fan base in the world not having his back. He has a Lakers team that feels like at least they have clarity moving forward. And you're right. What did Rich Paul say to Jim Hill yesterday? He said that he's still going to live in L.A., so he's still going to be a part of this community. But I just think that LeBron in his ego would not accept the fact that, guess what, things have changed in a heartbeat. Luka's the landlord, he's the tenant, right? This is Luka's franchise, and that's how the Lakers have always done things. You pick the top dog. He's not someone that has accepted where his career is. Is he still an all-star caliber player? Certainly he is. Is he arguably the greatest player of all time? You can make that case. But teams don't view LeBron James how LeBron James views LeBron James. And I think that's the biggest issue. I mean, you look at, to me, it's Talladega Nights, right, where Ricky Bobby can't accept the fact that he's not the undisputed guy, right? It's Ricky Bobby, right? He's not happy about
That's
that.
so
Like,
good.
I piss excellence, right? He's got that ego about him, right? That's how LeBron.
Is that the line?
Yeah.
He says, I piss excellence in the movie.
Yes.
You just pissed excellence. That was amazing.
That's how
Am I allowed
LeBron
to say
feels.
that?
That's how LeBron feels.
Bert's
He
looks so nervous.
can't accept the fact, right? I mean, it's just, this is how it is. This is how it is with stars.
Why can't I say it?
This is how
There's
it
different
happens.
rules for me and...
Okay, I'll give you another one. It's like in Sunset Boulevard when Norma Desmond she's really upset because remember she was this big actress and then her career falls off and
So
she's
good.
like, I'm big. It's the pictures that got small. She still thinks she's a star that she used to be, but the game has changed. LeBron James is going to go to Cleveland. He's going to go to either Golden State, be the Golden State Warriors. He's going to go back to Miami. He's going to go somewhere where he's going to win the press conference. He's going to be on national TV every night, and then he's also going to finish where he was this year, and that is not on a championship team. With the Lakers, even if they didn't win a championship, I still think they would have a chance to win a championship, but I also think it would have been a much more graceful ending to a legendary career.
I got to tell you, one of my favorite movie moments in history is Tropic Thunder, where Matthew McConaughey is behind Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise is basically going off. He's like, I can't do the line, but like McConaughey goes, if you can't see me, but he basically does like eyebrow out, like, oh, get him. That's what I do when you come up with these amazing like drop where you're just like pop culture reference. I'm like, get it. I love it.
Let's go.
They're so good. D-Mac and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Give us a call. I'm really curious out there, and so is D-Mac. Do you like this basketball team? Is a starting five of Reeves, Doncic, Grimes, Mamu, Kessler good enough to compete for the next 3 or 4 years? Because it has to be based on what they gave away for Kessler. Do you like the moves? 855-97 LA Fan. We also see a lot of you in the chat on YouTube at The Fan LA. Your comments, your calls, 855-975-2326. As we keep talking a huge, maybe the biggest 48 hours for the Lakers since Doncic got traded a year and change ago. We keep it going next to your D-Mac and Reiter. welcome back into the show. He's D-Mac, I'm Reiter. It's D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. There is a point in the chat that is a good one. There's so many people in the chat right now. I'm trying to find it over at The Fan LA, at The Fan LA. You know what? I don't see it, but to whoever said it, I'm sorry that I'm not quoting your name. It basically was, here we go. NBA old fart. Overpaying with picks now doesn't mean we can't get better some other way. Look, that's fair and that's true. It is, but it greatly restricts the ability to do anything. The Lakers, in effect, have given away basically, almost without exception, every pick between now and 2033. Remember, you can do pick swaps over some drafts, but you can't. Those pick swaps you can't trade away. So because you are forced, you can't trade away 5 consecutive years of first-round picks. So, D-Mac, there's moves they can make, but it's basically you'd have to trade players to create value by either bringing back other players you want or trading valuable players for picks, which there's just not a lot of flexibility. And the reason that you want picks, in part, is let's say that, I don't know, one of these guys doesn't work out, or there's a giant, let's say Walker Kessler is amazing, but Reeves doesn't work out. If Austin Reeves' contract doesn't go well, or Walker Kessler's contract doesn't go well, sometimes the way you get rid of that contract is by attaching picks. See the Paul George, Jaylen Brown trade that just happened. A bunch of picks had to go back with Paul George in order for the Celtics to be willing to sort of take Paul George on as part of the deal. I'm not saying that there's nothing you can do, but the Lakers have a lot less flexibility going forward. I'll go further. The Lakers have less flexibility than almost any other team in the NBA for the next 8 years.
For sure. I mean, that's definitely, they got to be up there, right? They got to be in that conversation for that. And look, that's the thing, too. That's why all these moves are interconnected, right? That's why Rob Pelinka has gotten as much criticism as I think he deserves. I mean, he has been one of the most polarizing GMs in basketball because, while he does have moves that he's made that you can point to that have worked out, there's also, he hasn't drafted absolutely on the money. He's actually been bad in the NBA draft. And when you don't manage every single asset preciously and carefully, you put yourself in a position where you have to push all those chips in. Here's the thing, though. You can't get chips back if you don't put chips in, right? And this is going to be a situation where either there's a lot of blame or they get a banner. It's either blame or banner. There's nothing in between for this version of Luka Doncic.
Blame or banner is good.
It's the truth, though, right? Like, is there anything in between there? You said at the top of the show.
Is there a Talladega Nights quote that'll make Bursch uncomfortable?
I was just about to say.
That was so.
I got dumb button threatened.
That was, you did. He was like panicking and just, I don't know what to do.
But to your point, though, they went, so when you trade Anthony Davis, you have a massive hole at the center spot. And they even said after they made that deal and they got Luka Doncic.
Yep.
That they wanted Williams, right? They wanted Mark Williams. That deal fell through, so they still have not gotten that.
Because Rob nixed that deal, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
Because they did the fake, he didn't pass the physical move, which is NBA speak for we changed our mind.
Yeah, exactly. And so you're absolutely right. So that's the thing, too. And then also, you got DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton did not flourish. He did pick up that option. He is good and viable at that price. But the truth is, you're looking all around, and Cody Kessler, look, I will say we got hot and heated. That sounded weird. We got a little heated, though.
You're edgy today, bro. You are all over the place.
We got heated at the top of the show. You're right, though.
Speak for yourself.
But the Lakers are taking a chance, Bill. They're taking a chance. They're taking the risk.
A chance to be on the air with you.
But here's the thing. He's statistically one of the best rim protectors.
You're talking about Walker Kessler?
He's Walker Kessler. He's an elite offensive rebound. He's a great rebounder. If you had to list out 5 centers.
Do you like him better than Jalen Duren?
I don't like him better than Jalen Duren, but I do think there's a world where Kessler plus Luka has the potential to be better long-term than Duren. I think that Duren has reached his peak, his zenith, more than I think that Kessler has. Remember, Kessler was...
You are tap dancing, man, to change your tune from yesterday.
I'm not. Would I be... So, look, would I be happier today had they have gotten Jalen Duren? Maybe a little bit, but not that much happier.
D-Mac and Reiter, I'm just messing with you. It's okay to be critical. I know you know.
I'm critical.
I know it's unfair. The new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports, where I mischaracterized my partner's opinion that time. Can I read you a few comments?
Let's hit it.
Shockingly, they largely agree with you. Ascarvius 1349. Kessler was a must get. I almost read that as maggot. I don't know why. That's what he said. Kessler was a must get. F them picks. It's Luka time. We were not going to win bleep with the roster we had. We didn't have to move on. Like the passion. ADB 1300 over on YouTube at the Fan LA. Rob Pelinka made a mistake offering player options in every contract. Bad move. Look what happens to Vando, player option. No teams want to take his bad contract. That's a really, really good point, actually. There is a player option in the 4th year of Kessler, and there's a player option in the 4th year of Austin Reeves, which means, in effect, if those guys perform at their contract level, they're 3-year deals. If they don't perform well, you are stuck with the 4th year. It's a really smart point. And NBA old fart fellow, who we had earlier, great name, Laker fans, it's probably best that the experts are not loving our offseason to date, would rather be doubted and have our guys prove them wrong in the end. And to that point, D-Mac, and this, like, again, look, I had a job once where I had to go on the air and, like, give an immediate grade, which I hated, and I never wanted to do it, and I gave a bad grade to Jalen Brunson, and everyone's made fun of me ever since, but I'm not alone. Everyone made fun of everybody. Jalen Brunson was a disaster move by the Knicks, according to everybody, only he wasn't. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander was an afterthought in a trade where the Clippers flee Sam Presti until that wasn't the reality. I get it. It's hard to know what's what. I worry about Rob Pelinka being the decision maker, but there's absolutely a world where we look back at this date, July 2nd, 2026, as when the Lakers truly began the process of building the team that eventually helped Luka Doncic compete for championships again.
Absolutely. Look, I'm not denying that at all. And I think first, I'm with you on the grades thing, right? It's like, especially knee-jerk, you're trying to gather.
July 1st.
The truth is, right, it takes time to evaluate these things. And the way I think to frame it, if I'm the Lakers, though, is the Lakers essentially gave up more assets in this deal than they did to get Luka Doncic, right? So what if you combined all the assets from the Luka Doncic trade with all the assets in the Walker Kessler deal, and you look at that in its totality? I think then you start to say, wait a second. Yeah, you save some on another deal that was a bad deal, and then you overpay for another deal. I mean, I think that's kind of where I look at this is the pressure's on Luka Doncic to make this work. You had to give him
that's a great point,
something that he needed.
And he's got to stay healthy.
He's got to stay healthy,
He's got to be in shape.
And, yeah.
So that's such a great, I haven't thought of this, D-Mac and Reiter. Let's say that this looks like it's working. Let's say we roll in next year and they get off to the Lakers another great start, and Kessler is thriving because a lot of sort of success is about opportunity. And JJ turns out to be a really good coach. I think he actually is. And Grimes is cooking offensively, and Mamu does his thing, and I think Colin Sexton's a really good player. And Austin Reeves lives up to the contract, and then Luka can't stay healthy when we get to March or April. That's a world where all of a sudden Lakers fans might rightly be like, look, bro, we said goodbye to LeBron for you. We bet the farm on you. We invested in you. We have these contracts that are disastrous if they don't work, but they only work if they work with you. Why are you injured all the time?
Exactly. I mean, that to me is the number one kicker, and just it seems like the greats don't get injured in their primes, right? I mean, that's just the truth. Like, for whatever reason, LeBron so many years, Kobe so many years, and even if they are injured, they play through it, and you don't know all about it. And you spent a lot of time, Steph is a great example, how he fixed things in his core, and you've been in those locker rooms in the NBA, and you know more than anyone that none of these dudes are 100%. I know covering baseball and being in those clubhouses that just because you don't see a player's name on the injury report, it doesn't mean they're not dealing with something. And I think Luka Doncic needs to get to the point where, as you point out, he's got to put himself in the very best position physically. He did lose a lot of weight. He was on the cover of Men's Health. I was saying it was revenge bod Luka, right? Getting revenge on the Mavs, and then he still gets injured. And then Austin Reeves gets injured. So, yeah, I mean, if these players are injury-prone, there's nothing you can do about it. You want to see these dudes in street clothes, but that's certainly a factor. I think that's where depth comes into play as well.
And that's funny you say that because I'm looking at this roster. D-Mac and Reiter. By the way, if you're watching on the stream at the Fan LA, there's a lot of you in there. Slam the like button. Hit the like button for us. That like button will make sure more people find this show here on 97.1 The Fan. I'm not a big load management guy. I'm not a big proponent of it. But you talking about his revenge bod turned into another injury and missing the playoffs this past offseason You're not going to have a better regular season record than the Spurs or the Thunder. I am not ceding the playoffs to the Spurs and the Thunder, daunting though that challenge is, if things go really well for this newly constructed Lakers team that we're discussing here on the new 97.1, The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. But I will concede the first and the second seed. I will concede home court advantage. I don't think you have the depth, and I don't think you have... And it's going to... By the way, the Lakers, it takes a while. Derek Fisher made this point this morning. It takes a while for teams to figure out how to play together, for guys to get in the chemistry together. The Lakers' goal, D-Mac, for me, should not be the 1-2 seed, as counterintuitive as it sounds. It should be the 3-4 seed and strategically resting Luka Doncic as much as you can to make sure that he's healthy. I know that he's a 27-year-old and you don't have to do that, but I am load managing Luka a little. I'm not saying he plays 55 games, but 72 basketball games to 75 games, every 4 or 5 weeks, he just gets a rest day where you pretend he has a calf injury or he's like got back soreness. I don't care what lie you put on the injury sheet, and you roll some other guys in. To me, that is the move, because I don't want to chase, if I'm the Lakers, the Spurs or the Thunder. What I want to do is get the 3 or 4 seed and then get gelling at the exact right time. We have a history in the last 3 or 4 seasons. The teams that have been the hottest post sort of trade deadline All-Star break are often ones. The Pacers weren't very good until they were, and they almost won an NBA championship. The Thunder were hot at the end of the year that they actually beat the Pacers. The Knicks are a team that figured it out. I go through examples. If I'm the Lakers, we got to find chemistry. Let's play well. Let's be good. And let's be rolling on 2 goals. Let's be rolling on February 15th. And let's make sure that Luka, critical to that, is still managed in a way that he's absolutely best chance at being healthy when we get to April 15th and it's actually playoff basketball time.
I see what you're saying, but first of all, what is your name and what have you done with the Bill Reiter that we all know and love?
What are you talking about?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Don't bring up Shohei Ohtani.
I am going to bring up Shohei Ohtani. So in basketball,
Strongman argument.
Yeah, in basketball, we wrap the guy up in bubble wrap. But when it comes to baseball, hey, let's go out there and let's
he can still
pitch
win
so
the
your
MVP
arms
on
fall
72
off.
games.
Look. No, you can't.
I'm not saying a 6-man rotation.
Come on.
What are you talking about?
I think, look, for me, I think this...
My Ohtani correctness stings you, and that makes
it does.
me happy.
It hurts. It burns.
That makes me feel good about myself. It burns!
I don't know. You're switching up, dude. You're switching up. But here's the thing, though.
What am I switching it up?
Okay.
It's a different sport.
It's a different sport.
It's a different conversation.
In one sport, you play every single day, and one guy's doing both
Shohei
things.
Ohtani doesn't play every single day?
He does.
What are you talking
about? I'm saying he should be the one. Okay, I'm not. Okay, sorry for.
I saw you. By the way, I saw you light up, and I was like, "Oh, I made a really great basketball point." And Doug's proud of me, and you were smiling because like, I'm gonna get him. Ah!
All you do is make great basketball points. First of all, second of all, though, I will say this: that I do think that is the logical thing, and I will say that for Lakers, their success is completely locked into can Luka Doncic be 100%, and can he put a team on his back for the entire regular season and in the postseason. But I still think that in this day and age in the NBA, this is a league where you finish with a top seed, there's a really good chance you're going to win a championship. And it's not always the case. We've seen in the past with the Rockets, the Knicks, and there's multiple examples of that. But when this team wins championships, when this franchise, when they hoist the Larry O'Brien trophy, it's usually when they're having a really good regular season. And I think, too, I want to put pressure on Luka Doncic to chase an MVP. I do not want to see Luka Doncic not win a championship and not win an MVP.
Title first.
MVP first. And title. But give me the MVP first. The same season. Why not?
Okay, fine. I'll take. Yeah, but if I have to choose,
But this could be a step back year.
Prioritize the title.
This could be a step back
the title. Also, the way that the voting works is if he wins the title, then he'll win an MVP because the voters are morons sometimes, and I used to be one. I wasn't the moron. I was the exception. That's what I'm saying. Not all the voters are morons. Howard Beck was great. Some of the guys are morons. The new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. There was some LeBron news today. It's kind of under the radar with everything happening. But I do think it shines a light on why he would have been a disaster in the Lakers locker room, regardless of what you think of Walker Kessler. D-Mac and I will chop that up, and D-Mac will find a way to say it reflects on my Ohtani love or something. Next here on D-Mac and Reiter. LA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports, accident or injury. Text injury help to 40222. Text injury help to 40222. Look, if you're listening in the car, if you're on the FM or the only sports talk radio station in Southern California on the FM dial at 97.1, thank you. We love and appreciate however you decide to let us come into your world and hang out with you. Really, like it's what I love about radio. You make that choice, and we're very thankful. But if you have a chance to get on the YouTube stream, you can see Doug running sometimes at full speed at the Fan LA. What are you doing out there? Who are you talking to?
Someone.
Who was it?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
I really genuinely don't.
Who? Okay. Sorry. You're popular here, dude.
That's you, Mr. Soccer Boy.
Soccer Boy. People here are very nice.
Yeah.
In this building.
They're very nice, extremely.
Okay, so LeBron James, there's some news out about the guy that I think is really, really interesting and worth your time. And to sort of set this up, we had Rich Paul, who is his buddy, who is the head of Clutch Sports, who is his agent, and who does a podcast, Mind the Game. Is it Mind the Game? Game Over, with, there's so many of them, with Max Kellerman. And this is one of the things he claimed when breaking down how Rich Paul claims LeBron's interest in return to the Lakers supposedly steadily declined.
And I said, okay, so where are you right now? Give me an understanding of where you at. And he's like, well, here's where I'm at. Here's where I am. I said, well, where are you at in terms of returning right here where we at? And he said, 80%.
So 80%
okay,
he's
fine.
going to return to the Lakers when you had this first conversation. How long ago was
First conversation. This was weeks ago. I mean, you know.
So several weeks ago, he's 80% likely to return.
Several weeks ago. And then as the time went on, he thought about things more. It kind of went down and down and down. Once he got to a place to where he said, listen, man, I understand where things are and I get it. I know that's where I could probably make the most money. But, you know, for me, where I'm at today, you know, it's probably not the best thing for me to do. I probably would just go away from that. So and I said, are you 100% sure? And he said, yes, I'm 100% sure that that's not a place I would want to return.
Putting aside D-Mac and Reiter, the fact that Max Kellerman looks like he's been taken hostage by someone who also stole his career. Max looks horrified in that interview. I don't believe Rich Paul. It just sounds like a bunch of crap. And I was listening to this and I was like, I don't believe it. And that doesn't mean that I'm right. And then some news came out today that told me that I am right. I don't know if you saw this, but there are reports out there that LeBron James plans, he's in discussions to film a documentary or an episodic behind-the-scenes series covering his upcoming NBA season, which, by the way, probably means it's his last season. Doesn't mean that it is. We know how much teams in the NFL hate Hard Knocks, how just having the cameras around when they were especially around in just the preseason where it was off-putting. LeBron has just announced that his most important thing is actually to have somebody follow him around and make him the focal point and the centerpiece of every moment of an NBA season. Can you imagine telling Luka Doncic this is your team, but LeBron's got a bunch of cameras around the entire time? Can you imagine telling Walker Kessler, hey, I know you're coming from Utah where there's not a massive media following and it's hard enough to adjust to the expectations of LA, but also LeBron's going to be doing an episodic series that's going to be on Netflix or Amazon or somewhere else and you're going to be probably the butt of one of the jokes? I mean, it's bad enough what Michael Jordan did to Scottie Pippen 30 years later in the decision. This is the possibility of that in a live moment where the Lakers are trying to build a winner around a new guy, Luka Doncic. To me, this LeBron documentary story is proof positive the Lakers didn't want him around and that LeBron is about LeBron. And that's okay if you don't pretend you're the most selfless person on earth. If you don't have your agent go out and go, yeah, LeBron was going to go to the Lakers. And then he woke up one day and just changed his mind and broke up with them. We want to do a documentary. They don't want to do it. We really want to be the center of attention. It's the ego, man. It's the tone deafness of LeBron. You say if I like him or don't like him. I don't dislike him. This stuff pisses me off because this is LeBron again being an egomaniac and making it about him.
Every story is his story, right? That's the thing. He makes it all about him every single chance he gets, and this does not help the narrative that LeBron was basically shown the door by the Lakers, whether it be indirectly, whether it be behind closed doors, whether it be just the simple fact that they did not outwardly prioritize him. I love that you brought up something that happened a couple weeks ago because of this 24-hour NBA news cycle. You forget some of the reports along the way, but we are just a couple weeks, Bill, from Brian Windhorst's report saying $50 million or bust, and LeBron James needs this and that or
That's
bust.
right.
And then what has happened now?
Amen,
it's
dude.
dwindled to, wow, okay, Lakers are out. I'm going to just have Rich Paul meet with any team, and you can basically make your best pitch as to why LeBron should sign with me. And then now LeBron just continues to lose a little bit of the limelight and some of the dignity, some of the respect. I mean, the fact is that at the end of the day, they're going to probably frame this as LeBron is doing the right thing because he wants to be happy and win a championship, whether it's the
That's
Heat,
what
the
they said.
Warriors, the Cavs,
Yeah,
right?
it's
But we all
garbage.
know that this is an ego hit, man. And it all comes back to the fact the Lakers just did not prioritize LeBron James. And I think that, yes, they didn't prioritize him because they knew at this point, because they've been in that building with LeBron, they've dealt with Clutch for a long time now, they knew that it wasn't worth the Lakers' time to try to prioritize him because they knew that they wouldn't have responded to the vision and idea of LeBron taking less.
This is like where you get married for the first time and you got the one buddy who was like, I don't care if we're married, we got a party, we got like, and you're like, no man, I'm married now, but like we can go out on Fridays, we gotta get drunk all the time, meet the ladies. I'm like, I can't meet the ladies, man. Lori and I are married, it's not gonna be a thing. And you try to broker like a, hey Lori, like he's cool, you're gonna like D-Mac, he's a great guy, but like and you invite him over for dinner and he brings 9 women or something, and it's like, dude, read the room. That's LeBron here. Hey, it's going to be Luka's team, but we want to make it work, but it's got to be a different thing. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's cool. I'm going to bring a documentary film crew every single day. All right, did I butcher the analogy? I might have. But the point is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely
I
what
went
you're saying,
for it.
man.
I'm
Absolutely.
Like Pelinka on
Yeah.
the Kessler move.
You got to go for it, baby.
We got a comment here from I Will Flip You the Bird, who said that seals it. He's going back to Cleveland. It did. I don't know if Miami signs LeBron and LeBron does this documentary, having covered that Heat team, that will be the biggest act of desperation and capitulation by any organization in history. Doesn't mean it's not worth it, but Pat Riley allowing a documentary film crew to come into his organization every day would be, to me, as surprising as if you decided that you wanted Shohei Ohtani to prioritize the Cy Young Award.
I deserve that because I came at you the last segment, so I'll take that one on the chin. But
It wasn't a shot, it's just a
no, it was
point of fact.
You're absolutely right though, and I think that this really is giving with Rich Paul in the LeBron camp. Just look at the response you're seeing from fans with this. People are saying, oh, it's not that, oh, Rich Paul's interesting, or this is great to see Max Kellerman back doing podcasting. It's, hey, man, I can't wait until LeBron is gone because we don't have to do this. Save us from Rich Paul clips. I mean, people are just kind of over it, and that's the worst part.
Rich Paul comes off so thirsty for attention and to make... It's like the emperor has no clothes. Like, just stop. We know what's what. D-Mac and Reiter breaking down all of these moves. We're going to circle back to Walker Kessler being a Laker along with Grimes and Mamu and Sexton. Does this team have a chance? We'll break it down next year. D-Mac and Reiter.
They have the sources.
All right, what up? Welcome back into the show. D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury? Text injury help to 40222. That is injury help to 40222. Man, can I just tell you something?
What'd he do?
I know Walker Kessler's the big news, 4-year deal, $130 million, $32.5 million per year, 2 unprotected firsts, 2 pick swaps, yada, yada, yada. Quentin Grimes is a really nice player. Everybody seems to love Mamu. I didn't watch a lot of Raptors games, but trying to catch up, he looks like a really good player. I love Colin Sexton. I mean, he's not like the home run signing of the day, but for basically $10 million a year, it's 2 years, 19. He can shoot. He can play the 1 and the 2. He generates some offense. I mean, the guy as a backup. The Kessler thing is the only question mark. If Kessler's great, I think the Lakers could be really, really good.
I do too, man. I really like the pickups. I like the action. I like the idea of Colin Sexton kind of being one of those high upside plays. We've seen the Lakers capitalize on moves in the past, the Malik Monks of the world. I mean, there's guys that want to almost reset their brand, and Sexton's a guy that he's been athletic. He's a guy that can score. He gives you guard depth in a team that has Luka Doncic, which is extremely important. It goes back to what you were talking about in the last segment about preserving Luka Doncic. And the better that he plays, the more they can trust him in his minutes. I mean, I love it. I mean, he does have a history of kind of making his imprint on teams. So I don't think there's going to be an in-between with Colin Sexton, right? I think he's going to be a massive success or a massive failure. I think that it is a move that the Lakers make that kind of really excites you, though. I mean, this is just kind of one of those, you hope that it turns into one of those Malik Monk type of swings for this team.
D-Mac and Reiter 97.1, The Fan. I love the chat. I love the sort of whole vibe of the chat on the YouTube stream of the show at The Fan LA. Somebody, I'm sorry that oh yeah, here it is. GKS, I can't say his whole name. GKS basically says, now Ayton's going to be pissed and you can't get rid of him. And David 100_LA, I don't remember David in the chat. David, thanks for hanging. If I missed you before, I'm sorry. Wrote, I couldn't care less about Ayton. That's the other amazing
Why
thing.
You DeAndre hate?
Well, whoa, that's a cheer.
No, I agree though. But here's the thing.
Here's my yesterday you made the point when he opted into his deal, and I agree with you that was like real value, right? That was real value. Now he's the backup. He's the backup to Kessler. We have actual. Oh God, don't say we, Reiter. What have you done to me?
Blood thingy on the team?
Lakers, can you boo me? Boo
Dude.
myself. No, we have different roles.
We've done this show. This is the 7th week. This is the 7th week. I've never heard you use we.
To quote
Mr. Laker fan.
To quote,
a guy who in between breaks was telling me I'm pandering to the purple and gold to Lakers Nation out there, and you're out here saying we? What position do you play? Are you the point guard? Are you the shooting guard?
Okay, get it out of your system. It's fair.
You're the center, the small forward.
If you can quote this show, I'll buy your next drink when we go hang out. To quote one of the great shows, if you can quote the plot line, not the show, to quote Sex and the City, I hate myself. Remember that one?
I know. I never watched Sex and the City.
What?
No, I've never watched that show.
Oh, what a loser. Are you serious?
I mean, that title's a little...
Obviously, I went at you hard because I felt bad about the we thing. Do I play point guard? Wow. I hate myself. Are you serious?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, dude, it's a great show.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make the jokes I want to make. Here's my point. Before I said we.
Make the jokes you want to make.
I don't want to.
Okay.
You're my friend, D-Mac and Reiter. Tonight.
You know
That's a joke I want to make. Oh, my God, I did it again. The depth of this team is outstanding compared to the last few years. I mean, we had Scott Drew on the show, who was Cameron Carr's coach at Baylor, and Scott Drew did. If you missed this, it's worth going to the podcast version of the show. And if you like the show, thank you. The podcast version always a great place. Please subscribe, like. We break it into sections. This was a week ago, I think. It all blurs together. Scott Drew broke down the tactics, the X's and O's, the insights on Cameron Carr and why he can be outstanding. And I think he sold both of us. The depth of this team is so much better than in years past. That's another really incredible part. I mean, Vandy backs up Mamu, and we as a radio station will talk about Colin Sexton being a backup at the guard position. And I'm not a big Ayton fan either, but big men are really expensive now, and there's overpays everywhere. He backs up the new $130 million man in Walker Kessler, and just you sort of go down. You go down the list. Quentin Grimes is going to be sort of backed up by a trio. Guys, I mean, Bronny's not really the dude, but I really like this team, dude. It's an if, and I don't know if Kessler's going to work. I'll say this: I like the potential of what this basketball team can be on the floor.
There's definitely a lot of pieces that you can get excited about. I think that you see the entire free agency period and where they've gone with it. They filled their biggest need in Walker Kessler. You got a 3-and-D wing. You got Grimes. I think Sexton is one that is really interesting just because this also, I think, speaks to the Lakers can still get players that want to wear this uniform, that want to play with Luka Doncic, that could have signed with other teams and maybe put themselves in situations where they were prioritized more as far as the depth chart and the pecking order. I think Colin Sexton bought into the vision and the idea of being a Laker. So I think that's big too, is when you get those guys down the roster, he's a Matt. I mean, I look at Colin Sexton, it's like that meme where you have the upgrade key, right? It's like a keyboard and you press the upgrade button and then it's something else. To me, it's Gabe Vincent, press the upgrade key, and it's Colin Sexton. You frame it that way and you say to yourself, wow, you're getting better at multiple positions with multiple players, ones that have more upside, ones that are more defensive-minded. So, yeah, I love calling Sexton in the City, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, that was really good.
That's your favorite show, apparently, right?
Yeah,
you love that show.
Because I like that show. It is now my favorite show of all time. That is a D-Max special for everybody that's listening here on the program.
It's your GOAT show.
On 90s. Yeah, that's exactly right. I said it's the only show I've ever watched because I said I like Sex in the City. You're right. I'm glad that you can continue to represent my opinions the way you do every single day here on D-Mac and Reiter. They should call it, I'm not going to say that. D-Mac, no, I'm not going to do it. You're unbelievable. A couple thoughts for you. You're unbelievable, dude.
Hey,
I
man.
like you so much, but you're unbelible. One of the
Lies
things
detected. Lies detected.
Yeah, to your direction. Yeah. One of the things that I hadn't thought about till you brought up Sexton. Guys love if you build the right kind of team. Guys love playing with Luka Doncic because he makes life so much easier on you. He creates. Now there's a high usage rate. He has the ball in his hands a lot, and that's another reason him and LeBron weren't going to work. If you're a role player, if you're a secondary player, if you know your sort of spot in the pecking order, I should say, guys love playing with Luka Doncic because he will go out and win basketball games. He'll just go out and he'll have fourth quarters where he just wins games. And he commands so much attention, and he moves at his own pace, and he does have a high usage rate, and he does like to sort of like let the clock wind down and then get into the offense after a while, and it annoys some sort of NBA prognosticators and math people. But to play with him is really, really easy. It makes life easier. It gets people paid. And that is the kind of situation where when you build the right kind of team and you have people who know their role, you're going to get the Colin Sextons who are like, oh, yeah, I want to play with Luka's life is easy. Some comments in this section here in the comment section. You're crazy, dude. At the Fan LA on YouTube. Adam Hurley, K1P, writes, they'll have a good bench this year, which is rare. And David100_LA, still in the chat, says, Lakers had a good bench during the 2020 chip. Bench is a must. I think that's a really salient point. This is a team that we're focused on their starting five, and that starting five just got really interesting with Kessler and Grimes and Mamu coming in today. But you've also got depth already. And it's hard to, I'm not a cap expert, right? I don't think Bursch is, you're not. And a lot of people turn to Bobby Marks. And have you noticed that Bobby Marks keeps getting criticized by other NBA cap people for getting stuff wrong? And he deleted something today that I saved that I wanted to read. So I'm not going to read as much Bobby Marks stuff anymore because he's getting stuff wrong on the cap, it sounds like, which may be why he's in the media now. I don't know. Yossi Goslin, do you know who this
That
is?
was a diss.
It's real. I'm not going to lie. I don't know Bobby, but, Bobby is missing the marks too much.
Oh,
Yossi,
speaking of cheers.
Yossi Goslin. I don't know if I'm saying Yossi's name right, but this is like a big NBA Twitter person. So I'm just presuming that Yossi knows what he's talking about, and Yossi is one of the people that criticized a Bobby Marks tweet, and then Bobby Marks took it down. Someone said Bobby Marks got this wrong, and Yossi Goslin wrote again. So I'm just going to assume this person's good at their gig. Okay, here's what he writes about sort of the Lakers' order of operations and what it means for cap space. So they sign and trade for Kessler first. Then if they sign Grimes, right, the order matters. Then if they sign Mamu, then they do the mid-level at 9.4 for Sexton, right? That's why he's making what he's making. He says that they'll be $14.1 million under the apron at that point. And there's more, and I'm not going to pretend to understand it, but there are some opportunities with Vanderbilt if you get rid of him that create even more space. So while the Lakers don't have flexibility or movement opportunities over the coming years, they're not entirely, as I understand it from the experts, DMAC, they're not entirely frozen out of making some other adjustments over the next few days or the next week, which means they could continue to get better. And that will be in a depth level, it won't be shocking moves. But if a deep team can get deeper, and again, it's all about, is Kessler good enough and is Doncic healthy and is Reeves worth the money? There's big question marks. But if the good goes well, they're also going to have the kind of depth, to David L.A.'s perspective, that when you're great, it's the depth that can get you kind of over the line sometimes.
It absolutely can. And yes, there's some moves you can make. There's some wave and stretch stuff you could go with,
right,
if you want to hit the Vando route. And also, too, I'll mention this, is one of the biggest pieces you could still have is Austin Reeves if he develops into an all-star, into an all-NBA player, and they decide, hey, maybe it's not the best fit with Luka Doncic, but he is a tradable asset because his max deal was the lowest kind of max that you can have, and the way that his deal was structured was to take a year less so he can hit the market sooner. So there is some assets that can develop from this. I mean, you mentioned the depth, though, in a guy like Sexton and Mamu and a guy like Quentin Grimes. Like, there is certainly depth there. Kind of looking at the roster and the way things play out is, hey, this is a salary cap league. This is a league with aprons. You have to spend your money, and the ultimate success is either how you use that money, how you develop your roster, how well you draft. Well, they failed the drafting portion of it, other than, of course, we know our guy Cam Carr, who his coach is on our show, and we love him, and I think he's going to be big time. But
I think he can go Carr.
You think he can? But, I mean, you look at the roster. I mean, look, Luka, Reeves. What happens with LaRavia is going to be interesting. Walker Kessler and Mamu. And then you got Colin Sexton, Quentin Grimes, Adu Thero, Jared Vanderbilt, DeAndre Ayton. This does look like a team that can go 8, 9, 10 deep if things work out and players take steps in the right direction. I think that the consternation in Lakers land right now is, why would you give Colin Sexton more money than Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard? And I think the answer to that is there's no guarantee that Marcus Smart wanted to be here. To me, it felt like the minute LeBron was gone that Marcus Smart was gone. I just didn't really get the sense he wanted to be here. And same thing with Luke Kennard. Could they have paid him? Yes. But I think what you're banking on, if you're Rob Pelinka, is you're going more the youth route.
Did you read the swimmer comment? I'm sorry. Did you read that? Or
I didn't.
You're like, I didn't think so. You're psychic, bro.
There's a rumor there?
Crazy Fast Swimmer wrote, no way you're saying Sexton getting paid more than Marcus Smart makes sense to what you just addressed.
Oh, there you go.
Grimes ain't even better than Smart or Kennard. And to your point, because I saw this and I wanted to read it when appropriate, I'm sorry to jump in on you, D-Mac.
Chilling.
But, with someone whose the only show they've ever seen is Sex and the City, it's sometimes hard to focus. You're such a liar.
Big Sarah Jessica Parker guy.
I mean, yes, no lies detected there.
What's the guy's name? Mr. Big?
Yeah, okay. Let's not. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole right now.
Mr. Big, right?
What's his name? Mr. You've seen it. You've seen it 7 times. You're watching it last night.
No.
Here's the thing about Marcus Smart, to your exact point, to Crazy Fast Swimmer. I do think there's a world where Colin Sexton is better, but they're just different. I mean, Marcus Smart is a much tougher guy, and he's good defensively. That's not Sexton's thing. Sexton is a great shooter. He's a 40% three-point shooter. That's exactly what you need to surround Luka Doncic with. And he's younger, and you just made the point. The fact that Sexton is 27 and Smart is 32 is really significant. The Lakers have gone really young. And this might be wishful thinking on the part of LA. they build a young team to play against young teams. The two best teams in the Western Conference are young.
Exactly.
The Thunder are young, and the Spurs are young.
This is a young man's league. I mean, it truly is. I mean, there were some vets on that Knicks team, but really you're seeing teams win with players in their absolute primes or younger teams. Look at that Thunder team a couple of years ago. That's kind of where this league is headed, and that's why, to me, it almost feels like LeBron might want to go to the Warriors. Derek Fisher said something interesting to me on the show yesterday where he was talking about...
Wait, what?
D. Fish.
Oh, he said it to you?
Not to me. Did I say that? I must have misspoke. I was listening
Are
to the show.
you pretending on this show that you speak to Derek Fisher?
He
when you
said
don't?
something on the D. Fish. I promise that.
Is talking to me not enough?
I promise that was just me.
I mean, I actually did talk to Derek Fisher 2 weeks ago. But like, what do you...
I misspoke there, I promise.
What do you mean misspoke? You just said Derek Fisher said something to you on the show.
That's what I gave for the Sex and the City
Are
stuff.
you-
Man, I look.
This is Lies in the Studio. It's a different show.
Well, okay.
Similar plot line. It's about somebody can't stop themselves from doing something.
Well, okay, so I was so, you know what I think it was? Because I watched the show and they're in the studio. I feel like I'm in the studio. Maybe I feel like I was a fly on the wall or something like that.
You're telling me that you visualize yourself hanging out with Derek Fisher so much that you come on this show and say that you hang out with Derek Fisher when you don't? Are you okay?
No, I was locked in, okay?
Delusions in the Office. That's like the
Okay.
sequel.
Well, okay, so the point he was making, though,
To
was
you,
that,
when you guys had a conversation.
Okay, man, I'm struggling. Okay,
We're
so
all struggling.
What D. Fish was saying was that what Draymond Green was saying on his podcast was about LeBron James and about maybe the motivation for LeBron.
Because I want to come at you so bad.
Maybe the motivation for LeBron and wanting to go to Golden State.
I was talking on the show.
Okay, maybe the motivation
LeBron's like, I forgive
maybe
you.
the motivation for LeBron and why he might want to go to Golden State is, to your point, that's why I brought it up, just to slam dunk your point when you're talking about this being a young man's league.
That's a lie. That's
Is
a
that
180 attempt.
Maybe
Ain't gonna work.
Maybe
Can't give me
LeBron
flowers after you
wants
slap
to go
me.
to the Warriors because they want to prove that older dudes
But you shouldn't
can still win in this league.
I'm not even listening anymore. I'm just like lost in your Derek Fisher talk to me.
That's so hilarious to me. But yeah, so the point is...
What's hilarious to you? That you said that you're hanging out with Derek Fisher? It's hilarious to me too.
Oh, speaking of putting words in someone's mouth, I never said that. I didn't say
I
hanging
can have-
out.
He's gonna get it.
Oh, no.
He's a good producer.
Oh,
he knows.
no.
It's okay.
I hate when that happens. I always lose.
You are. By the way, there's a bunch of people in the chat.
So no response?
There's a response coming.
Okay.
There's a bunch of people in the chat talking about how excited they are to see
Yeah.
Cam Carr. I'm not just pushing this so you'll go click on it. The Scott Drew interview we did with the Baylor University head coach was really good. And I love Scott. Scott's a friend. I didn't know, he's a good player. He broke down every aspect of it. Okay, we like to fact check things here on the show, all right? Here's Doug 2 minutes ago.
Derek Fisher said something interesting to me on the show yesterday where he was talking about...
Wait, what? You just say it.
So I meant to say Derek Fisher said something that was interesting to me. But then I left out a couple words that made it seem like he was speaking directly
NBA
to
old
me.
fart is enjoying the chemistry that we have.
Hey, good times. But I will say this, though.
It's all started with
Paying
Sex and the
Colin
City.
Sexton $6 million more than Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard, I mean, that to me is a little rich. It's another bold move. But I will say that last
like
year,
Sexton.
you
I
like
like
Sexton.
Sexton.
I
A
mean,
lot.
15.4 points per game, 2.3 rebounds, 3.3 assists, a steal per game, shooting 48.5% from the field and 40% from beyond the arc.
The big. So here's the thing on Sexton, and to the person in the chat, who
Tattletale.
who doubts. You tell them yourself on radio. We're on LA. We're on 97.1 The Fan. This is on FM. We're not at where are we going?
How do you do that so fast?
We're not in Manhattan
Wait,
Beach
how did
in a
Burst
dive
do
bar.
that so fast?
Well, he knows you're going to say something that's not true, so he's always just like
That was too fast for me.
I don't know what I'm saying. Colin Sexton. Here's my thing on Colin Sexton. I have liked him for to the gentleman in the chat who doesn't like it. I respect it. I understand why you'd rather have Marcus Smart. I have liked Sexton for a really long time, and I don't think he was valued properly in Cleveland. There was a time, and I know the people in that organization, where they thought he was going to be a perennial all-star. And then he gets ships out, and it kind of doesn't work, and he's kind of anonymous. I think Sexton has incredible upside. Colin Sexton as a backup guard, I know what Marcus Smart is. I know he's a winner. Luka Doncic loved him and wanted him around, thought he was great. I think Smart's great. I don't know why Smart's not there. I wish that he were. He's only making $6.5 million per year. He's with the Rockets, who are a threat to the Lakers in the second tier. I get all of it. I'm not arguing. I like Colin Sexton a lot in terms of his ceiling and his age.
Yeah, I think that's such a great way to put it because, as you point out, there's that upside and there's that dog mentality that he brings. He's one of those players that fan bases fall in love with. I remember a couple years ago, Rajon Rondo coming to the purple and gold. You talk about Marcus Smart last year. Yes, Marcus Smart had a very, very good year, but with Colin Sexton, you get a tenacious point-of-attack defender, someone that's not afraid to get in the grill of the opposing team. And there's a lot of nice guys on this team. There really is. You got to get some dogs out there. You got to get some dogs that are down to bite ankles and start a street fight and not be afraid to take some action. And I think that Colin Sexton can have that role on this team.
I think that was more Marcus Smart. I don't think he's great defensively. Yeah.
But he's a willing point of attack defender. I'm not saying he's better than Marcus Smart, but he's younger than Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart did deal with some injuries.
I mean, Marcus Smart is a badass dude. Like he is a. By the way, speaking of,
I was talking to Derek Fisher about Marcus Smart. No,
Derek and I were golfing, not D-Mac. We were just hanging out as best friends.
I'm so mad right
now. We're all mad at you. Bethel Font isn't mad. In the chat at the Fan LA at the Fan LA. I had no idea this show existed. Yay, LA Sports! ! Thank you. By the way, I was telling this to Bursch. I've worked with so many people that were miserable to work with, either socially or execution-wise. You are neither of those things. It is a joy to work with you, even if you lie about hanging out with Derek Fisher.
Hey, it is a joy to work with you, an absolute dream come true to work with a radio legend, TV legend.
I mean it.
Someone that's worked with the greatest in the game, someone that is wit and charm and humor and knowledge and IQ just so off the charts. I pinch myself every single day I sit in the studio.
The first time we had a work meeting, he said the exact same thing and then mispronounced my last name.
No, I was nervous because your aura.
I was nervous when you mispronounced my last name. I didn't think we were going to get where we got.
Sorry. See, I misspoke then, just like I misspoke about Derek Fisher.
The last time that somebody mispronounced my name when they first met me, we ended up doing a CBS Sports NBA podcast that was the most miserable professional experience of my life. This is the opposite of that.
Those are still around. I have to binge those tonight. Who knows?
He was the LeBron of colleagues, but he wasn't good at his job.
Wow.
Someone's
taking strays.
First, I can't. What?
Bang!
Bam!
Shots fired!
Tonight!
This afternoon.
Because you came after me in the opening segment unfairly, I think. No. It's not like the Derek Fisher comment. It wasn't accurate. I am not saying that this is a terrible deal. I'm highly. There is a world where it goes completely south. There is a world where it doesn't work out. And my point was the Walker Kessler trade needed to happen. At the price they paid, it makes it an all or nothing situation. If he is good to great, the Lakers are cooking, man. If he is not, the Lakers are totally screwed. And we're going to break down what each of those could look like next here on D-Mac and Reiter. on the new 97.1 The Fan. Exactly. The voice of
I
LA
saw Derek
sports.
Fisher on the media day. It was cool.
Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. Don't text Derek Fisher, D-Mac, but you can text injury help to 40222. So in the break, I was texting some pretty impressive NBA people. And I've sent a few texts out. Can I read you the responses here? I can't say who they are, but these are all people that have been general managers in the NBA. And I just asked, do you like the Lakers offseason? I haven't even read the response yet. Ready? Temporarily appeases Luka and better than running it back with LeBron, but I still don't see them being better than San Antonio, Oklahoma City, Minnesota, Denver at minimum. That's the first response. We'll keep him coming in. And by the way, doesn't mean he's right, but that is one of the sort of professional views out there. And this is a guy that I really respect, but he's pretty, you think what's the word you use? Pragmatic as a way to say harsh? You're trying to be nice? He is pragmatic to harsh in his evaluations.
And I think those teams, though, I mean, it is another reminder, and that's the kind of insight that you get here on DMAC and Reiter, where you can just text GMs around the league and hear what actual people in the industry, in the sport, in the NBA, in these leagues are saying, because we're fed a lot of spin, man. ESPN, whatever it may be. A lot of these guys have motives. We know that. We've learned that the last couple of days for sure. I do think it's a really good reminder of just the quality of teams that are in the Western Conference. And look, you might not think that LaMelo Ball on the Minnesota Timberwolves is a great move, but still, I mean, you still have Anthony Edwards. You still have a defensive presence there. You still have Joker in Denver. And I think, too, we're not going to have a truly accurate assessment of the Western Conference until we see where LeBron signs, because LeBron could easily go to some of those teams. And then right there, you have another quality team, because right now we know the first tier is Thunder, Spurs, 1A, 1B.
That's it.
And then after that, you're kind of, who's that 2, 3, who's that 3, 4, 5? Is it the Nuggets? Is it the Wolves? Are the Lakers in that mix? I still think that where the Lakers were when they were playing at their best last season, the fact you still have a legitimate top 3 to 4 player at the very worst in his absolute prime with better pieces. And also, too, let's not forget, this is a great opportunity for J.J. Redick to have his first, as LeBron likes to use this word, stint with the Lakers without having to coach LeBron. So I think there's going to be a freedom and some pressure on J.J. Redick, especially on the defensive side where you try to optimize Walker Kessler. So I still think the Lakers can be in that second tier. I really, truly do believe that.
I think it's possible. And by the way, so I'm just blanketing text messages to GMs, former GMs, front office people, because I'm just really curious. I haven't done this in a while, and in just full disclosure, all these guys used to talk to me, but part of being an insider, I didn't like that part of the job. But so here's my thing. Back in the day when I was doing the job the right way, my sort of role was to reach out to these guys. I would ask their opinion. They would give me a candid response. I would write columns or go on TV or radio and give my opinion that was informed. Once CBS Sports made me try to be Shams, that wasn't as, I mean, that's just not what I do. So but you have to reach out to people on a regular basis in order for them to get back to you, because if you're just reaching out when there's news, they're like, oh my God, this guy. So we'll see. We'll see if we get responses back, but I'm just sending a few out. I think they can be in the second tier, and I'm with you on that. The other interesting thing about this is that there's pressure on the Lakers to perform, and that performance will in some ways be assessed based on where you finish in the Western Conference. Are the Spurs and the Thunder challengers to what the Lakers' ultimate goals are? Of course. As D-Mac just said, as you just noted, buddy, they're the teams to beat. But I also think finishing 7th versus finishing 5th is going to be important to how we view Pelinka and how Luka Doncic views this team and the vibes of the team. And is J.J. Redick the guy? And other Western Conference teams in the second tier besting the Lakers, I think, has the potential, or not besting the Lakers besting them, I think will form somewhat how we feel about this team. Which means if LeBron goes to a place like the Denver Nuggets, and by the way, a report out today, there's about 12 teams that have contacted Rich Paul, and one of those teams out of Denver is the Denver Nuggets. If LeBron goes to a team like the Nuggets, I don't think he's going to the Timberwolves. I know that our guy, Andrew, our boss Andrew, the PD, wants that because that's his team. But Denver could make sense. You can commute. If you can commute from here to Golden State, you can try to commute from here to Denver. It's not that long of a flight. You can be back sometimes. If LeBron goes to the Nuggets, and that makes the Nuggets better than the Lakers, or the Nuggets play the Lakers in the playoffs and they beat. I mean, there is a villain turn for LeBron that is extraordinary, I think, if he goes to a team in the Western Conference and that team is evenly matched with the Lakers and LeBron becomes the difference maker at a critical moment in April or May where they get past LA. I mean, that's just keep an eye on it.
That's such a great point, Bill, that I haven't really thought of yet is the Lakers are going to potentially have to deal with LeBron. And they're going to have to play LeBron. And they're going to have to maybe match up with LeBron in a playoff series. First of all, that would feed families as far as NBA ratings and butts in the seats, dude, and just the matchups in general, right?
Can I ask you this? Where do you – because I just sort of was thinking about this, and some of these guys are writing back, and I'll read some of this stuff here in a second. I got one person who gave their take on Kessler's contract, so stay tuned for that. This is someone who was a pretty big-time NBA name. You'd know him if I could tell you who it is. Before that, we've sort of D-Mac and Reiter, 97.1 The Fan, the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. We have acclimated ourselves to the idea of LeBron as a Warrior, as a Cav, as a member of the Heat. When and if one of those happen, it's going to feel how it feels, right? Whether we're used to the idea or not. Do you think LeBron James going to the Warriors would make him more or less villainous in LA than him going to the Nuggets? So I'm just trying to get my sort of mind around, like it. So
I think the difference there is if he goes to the Warriors, dude's going to one of the ops, man. And I think I would lose so much respect for LeBron James. I think it would be flat out pathetic and embarrassing for him to do that. You wouldn't see Kobe join the Celtics. You wouldn't see. As far as threats, I get it. Yeah.
Do you think he's more of a villain? Like pathetic's one thing. That's interesting. Villainy.
So this is
to LA.
And this is what I'm thinking here, though, is that if you go to Golden State, I think he's a villain because he joins the Warriors. Yes, that team still has a chance. If he goes to the Nuggets, he's a villain in a different way in that you're joining a Western Conference rival who has been a thorn in the Lakers' backside in the past, and also you have a higher chance of winning a championship. So I think that's where the villain comes in, whereas you have a much better chance of winning a championship if you're LeBron and you join the Nuggets than you would if you join the Warriors.
Do you think so?
I do. I mean, I just think that you still have Joker in his prime. You still have, P-Walk can still be there potentially.
I think they're both threats.
But I think they're both threats, but you think the Warriors would have an equal chance than the Nuggets with LeBron?
So here's
really?
Let me frame it this way to you. D-Mac and Reiter, 97.1 The Fan. I mean, I'm sort of doing this, it's really interesting, as a thought experiment. I think that the Nuggets have a remarkably high ceiling and a fairly, respectable floor if they add LeBron James. I think the Warriors have a similar ceiling if they add LeBron and a humiliating floor. Just because the age is such a factor, right? But I think if those guys get to the playoffs as a non-play-in team, which means you're not rolling the dice to make the playoffs, and even if you get in the playoffs, we think playing the Thunder or the Spurs. So if you are the sixth seed or better next year, and you're the Warriors with LeBron and all those other geriatrics. If they get healthy, I think they're good enough to be what the Lakers hope they are.
But I think that, don't you think that a lot of Lakers fans would almost view that as, hey, that's Thanos trying to join the Avengers, right? The whole point was to stop Thanos. Now Thanos is joining the Avengers. I think that's how it would look like to me.
I think he might get some grace he doesn't deserve because he and Steph are documented buddies. In fact, should we play this? Like, we've got a clip of, this is, okay, so he and Draymond work together and have done, not anymore, because Draymond understood that it was better to be an Odyssey sort of podcaster than do LeBron's thing, but before he came to the best company on the face of the earth, he was working with LeBron, and they're buddies, and Steph and LeBron have a documented sort of rivalry turned into remarkable mutual respect, to the point that on his podcast, Mind the Game, LeBron James actually talked about what it would be like to play with Steph Curry.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's one of the best experiences. Like, it was everything. People ask me all the time, finally got an opportunity to play with Steph. Like, what was it? Everything and more. Like, first person I text when I was trying to assemble the team, whatever. First person I text. I said, bro, he said, good willing, injuries, I'm good injury-wise. That's the plan.
So that's from a month ago. And the reason that we played it for you here on D-Mac and Reiter is I think LeBron is associated with Steph and with Draymond in a way that people won't love it and he'll still be a villain, but I think he'll get some grace he doesn't deserve. Going to Denver, I think, will feel like just mercenary move. People are like, wait, Denver? You're a Denver guy now. You're a Jokic guy now. You're going to play the best player in the world guy now. Which, by the way, I think I think it makes sense for LeBron. I think Denver, to your point, makes a lot of sense. I just think I think it's such a betrayal. I think the Lakers fans will wake up pretty quickly and be like, bleep this guy.
I think either way that a lot of Lakers fans, including myself, would definitely wake up feeling that way no matter what, just because I don't think that he handled his exit his last couple years here, I think the right way as far as what's best for the Lakers as a whole. I know we got in that heated argument in the first segment. I still believe that.
Your apology off air was sweet, by the way. Oh, wait, that's right.
Okay.
I made that up
Well,
like you made up the Derek Fisher thing.
Pretty sure. Okay, Birch will probably run that. He probably has. I'm pretty sure Birch is wearing a wire when he comes and talks to me, and then he plays stuff and things like that, which is totally cool and totally fine. But as far as the Warriors versus Nuggets thing, I think if he joined the Nuggets, the one thing that I would say about that, and the one thing that I would somewhat have a modicum of respect for about that, is that if LeBron is saying he wants to be happy and that there's happiness involved, well, that would tell me that the ultimate happiness for most players is winning championships and competing for championships. I think that the Nuggets roster, as it's currently assembled, with the age of that roster, is in a much better position than the Golden State Warriors to compete for a championship. If he goes to the Warriors, I mean, Bill, it is going to be Michael Jordan joining the Utah Jazz, Kobe joining the Boston Celtics. This would be an absolute shift, and you are joining the ops. You are absolutely joining the ops.
I pulled a burst. I thought you were going to say something else. D-Mac and Reiter. I've got two surprises for you. We have a surprise caller.
Ooh.
Yeah, close to your heart. And I have a response from an NBA executive that's pretty pointed on Walker Kessler and his evaluation of the Lakers' decision to give him that kind of money for that kind of draft capital. Both the analysis that will rock your brain and the call that will rock your heart. D-Mac next on D-Mac and Reiter. Back into the show, D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. If you want to call us, 855-97-LA-FAN. Just talking to D-Mac in the break. Just FYI, he definitely has seen Sex in the City. Clearly seen it.
Seen clips.
Even shot me a wink after you dropped a
come
very
on.
deep-cut reference.
Carrie?
Unbelievable. Basketball coverage on the new 97 on The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years, guaranteed. Xfinity, imagine that. Imagine this. We have some phone calls. Some information from some NBA execs. Let's do the phone calls first. The one close to your heart is your friend, covers Dodgers for Sports Illustrated, does a great job. It's Noah Cameras on the show. Noah, what up, buddy? You're on D-Mac and Reiter.
Oh, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. First of all, I love that LeBron talk you guys just had, but I was coming in with a take on the Lakers. I love your guys' thoughts about. I feel like this offseason is an absolute disappointment. I feel like on paper, the Lakers are worse than they were a year ago. You know, say what you want about LeBron, but he's 27-7 every single game. And then you add Walker Kessler, which I love, but you have the most cap space. You have a superstar in his prime, top 5 player in the league. And I feel like, you know, you have no wing help now. You lose Marcus Smart. You probably lose Rui. I mean, what is Jake LaRavia? You're starting 3 right now. I just feel like on paper, this team is worse than it was a year ago, and the West is only getting better. And I feel like that just makes it a huge disappointment from Rob Pelinka.
Let's give Noah a cheer. That's a great call. That's also known as the Noah goes at D-Mac call.
Hey,
that is going hard at your opinions. And what Noah, your guy from SI, Sports Illustrated, is saying is you are wrong.
If my friends call into the show, it should be to support my opinions and help build and paint my narratives. I don't appreciate that, but Noah is a ball knower supreme. He definitely knows ball. And why do all my friends appear to be LeBron stans? I mean, it feels like every time someone that I know comes into the show, they love LeBron.
You were a LeBron stan 3 days ago.
Oh, come on,
he left.
Bill. That's ridiculous.
You're no Carrie Bradshaw. That's all I know. By the way, I was walking through my house the other day, and Lori was not mad at me, but we were disagreeing, and she goes, "I'm Doug," and walked away.
No,
she did.
I'm Bill.
I'm Doug.
But look, he brings up a lot of really good points in that this roster, yes, there's been action.
I think Quentin Grimes is a good player.
I do too.
I think he's the starting 3.
I really do too.
Yeah.
Colin Sexton, defensively, younger. I think there's upside there.
I don't think Sexton's a good defense. Look, Mamu,
he's a point attack.
I like his offense. I need to know more about Mamu, and that's on me. I have not seen a lot of him. I didn't watch a lot of Raptors. I'm gonna the next few days try to watch as much sort of tape as I can. But the people in the know seem to like him. So it feels like we have a front court that is pretty good, and we have a backcourt we paid a lot of money to. In fact, let's take this call, and then I'll give you this analysis on from one of the execs I wrote about Kessler, because he made an interesting point about the entirety of the team. Andy from San Bernardino, thank you for hanging. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you. You are on D-Mac and Reiter on 97.1 The Fan.
What's up, D-Mac? It's your boy Andy Chin from Dugout Live. Coming to support you on your little radio show, man. I just want to say for the whole thing with the Lakers, I'm glad we got Mamu and Kessler, but we'll see what's up with Sexton and Quentin. We got younger, which is a plus. We still got to get rid of Vando and Connect and see what we can get, but hopefully we'll see. Hopefully this year will be a positive thing. We still need a lot of things to do. We need wing depth.
First of all, I appreciate you, my man. Thanks for rocking with me, but little radio show Andy, you know I love you, but I'm a little offended here. It is big radio show, bold letters, capital letters. So thanks for rocking with us. This is the big D-Mac and Reiter on 97.1 The Fan. So yeah, appreciate you though.
Yeah,
of
this
course.
ain't Sex in the City, okay?
This is as big
Thank
as
you,
it
Andy.
gets, baby.
Can I thank you, Andy. Appreciate you, buddy. Can I read you this assessment? I just asked, what do you think of Kessler, to a few people. Here's the response. It's a risky contract if it doesn't work, but bigs are usually liquid. I'd be more worried about the overpay on Reeves if he continues to be so fragile. Which isn't it? Because it's good sometimes, right? We are so focused on what's going on. We got to go to 10,000 feet. And the 10,000 feet view is, how are the Lakers constructed? And I know Reeves feels like yesterday's news, but giving Austin Reeves a max contract is a pretty important question mark as to whether or not that was a good idea. And a lot like Walker Kessler, but you were more sort of checkmated into it. It's something you had to do, but it's also an overspend overpay. And so there's a lot of overspend overpays here relative to the current market, not necessarily, hopefully, relative to what is 2 years from now, was my point. There's just a lot of risk, and maybe the risk pays off.
And the thing about Reeves is, I do feel like, yes, you know how critical I've been about Austin Reeves and how he's performed in the playoffs. He has to prove that he can be a viable second option, and he's got to produce when it matters most. But I think the injury-prone label, when you look at it, I think it's a little overblown. I mean, he did play 51 games last year. Yes, you had the calf, you had the injury, and you didn't make it back until the playoffs when you had a second injury. But in 2024 and 2025, he played 73 games. In 2023 and 2024, he played 82 games. He's never played less than 51 games in a season. That comes last year. So I do think that another thing with Austin Reeves, and one thing that I absolutely believe 100% in my heart of hearts, is just the fact that I don't think he's a guy that's going to get paid and his effort's going to change. I think that this is someone who's been a blue-collar player, right? Yeah. Undrafted. He's really a miracle dream story.
Chip on his
Loves
shoulder
Lakers.
guy.
Chip on his shoulders. I think you trust that he's going to put in the work and do everything he can to stay out there and make sure he's available.
Let me also say that the people, and I'm not going to say who said that he was basically a choker in the playoffs. I'm not going to say who, but their name rhymes with Emac Relane.
Whoa.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Emac Relane.
It's a rhyme I came up with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you know Emac Relane?
Did I call him AR 15%? Sure I did. Okay.
There's a world where this happens, by the way, where Emac Relane is right, and he can't play in the playoffs and can't handle the pressure, and that's part of the problem. And there's a world where he is coming back from injury. There was no Luka. He rushed himself back. He was trying to be a team guy, and he wasn't able to perform because you said it earlier. It was such a good point. No one's ever 100%. If you hear somebody ask an athlete, are you 100%? They haven't covered sports like on a sort of day-to-day level like D-Mac and I have. But people need to be 70% or 80% or 85%. There's a world where he was 30%, and he was out there limping through it to be a good teammate and an effective performance. And that's I don't know which it is, but whichever one is true is going to be very important in the Lakers' future.
I agree. I think that's such a great thing for Austin Reeves to show this fan base that, hey, even though I was headed for a new contract and I needed to stay healthy for that, I still tried to get back as soon as I possibly could to make myself available for the Lakers in a playoff run where he didn't have Luka Doncic. And he had some of the best games that he's had in his career. I mean, he had a game against the Thunder. Yes, you get swept, but 31 points on 62.5% shooting. The closeout game where they got swept, 27 points. There were some good games in there. Against the Rockets, he had a 22-point game. Yes, it was inefficient shooting, but I mean,
also, can I add to can I put a Sunday on top?
Yeah.
Are you tired of the March talk, or do you like it? The March where the Lakers went 15-2?
I forgot what you said. It was really clever. Something about March. But look, I do think that we talk a lot about March, but we also talk. Yeah.
I have a stat from it.
Okay.
I just don't remember if you value it or not.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see
were you
what it
talking
is.
to D-Fish when you're trying to remember the clever thing? Were you guys hanging? You heard it? In that March where the Lakers went 15-2 and LeBron took a back seat, which will be kind of the case because he'll be in no seat, next year, and Luka scored 37 or 38 points per game, was amazing. Austin Reeves' numbers actually went down. His efficiencies went down. His scoring went down. Everything. He didn't play as well over that stretch. Very, very quickly, starting 11 for the U.S. men's national team. That game begins against Bosnia in about 5 or 6 minutes. Matt Freese, Serginho Dest, Chris Richards, Tyler Adams, Anthony Robinson, Weston McKennie, Christian Pulisic, Tim Ream, who's the captain, Alex Freeman, Tillman, and Balogun, of course, is the striker who's been outstanding. The next round could be very difficult. Belgium won, right? Belgium won. Actually, I kind of like that. I think Senegal's better. I'm glad Belgium won. That's not going to be easy. The USA has to win this game. They have to win this match. And ask Germany, ask almost England, ask a lot of. It's a World Cup. Teams are coming to play. It's always a challenge. I think that we can win 4-1. 3-0. If we lose, it is an all-time disaster.
Wow.
It's like never having watched Sex in the City, culturally. It is unforgivable.
Or it is like never having watched Sex in the City, in a good way. But I will say that.
Do you want to drop another, wink at me and drop another, season 3, episode 5 cut or whatever?
Mr. Big Soccer Boy! But is this the biggest U.S. soccer game in history?
After they win. It is if they lose.
Okay.
It's not
All
if
right,
they
that's
win.
hype. And you got a blowout, 4-1.
You look, dude, that is a hell of a kit.
You hated this jersey last week.
Well, it doesn't look great on people that aren't players, but it's a hell of a kit.
Whoa,
Looks good on you, though.
Well, you guys did criticize me, so I did add a number to it. I got 10 on it, so
you went
it
back
doesn't look
and
as
added
bad.
A number?
Yeah.
You went back and added a number.
I did because you'd make fun of me.
You did a number on that kit.
I did.
Literally.
Yeah, I did. Absolutely.
Yeah, you did. All right, so we'll keep you updated on the U.S. men's national team match. They're playing Bosnia-Herzegovina. I knew I was going to butcher that name. I apologize, Bosnia. We're going to keep talking Lakers, the LeBron exit, and this Walker Kessler edition next year on D-Mac and Reiter.
They have the sources.
Fernando Mendoza does care about something. He has reportedly filed a trademark protection for the nickname Nandalorian. It is unclear whether or not Disney will fight it.
I mean, A, come on, Disney. And B, do you like the Nandalorian?
I don't like this one. I don't like this nickname.
It's
I don't like
cringy.
it. I don't like it. I think there was one I saw it to the Cuban Missile, because he's Cuban, that people were going with. But I think this is a little safer than that.
Yeah,
right?
that was better. This one, he's really forcing it.
Yeah, I see it, man.
See what I did there?
Hey,
the force.
I see it. Yeah,
Okay,
no,
I just
that
didn't
was
know if
banger.
you caught
That was.
It's like a marathon, you know?
Trademark or do not trademark.
That's an amazing Yoda.
Yeah, but
Whoa!
That cease and desist is coming from George Lucas and Disney.
Is it true you stood up today in the break room or in the public area and just did that out loud and people look like, what are you talking to yourself?
There was a couple people that didn't. I ran off. I didn't say anything. It was extremely awkward. I hit it with a
You don't say. Trying to get you on camera. D-Mac and Reiter. I think I failed. D-Mac and Reiter presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That is calldowntown.com. We are talking about a huge day for the Lakers. So if you're just kind of hanging out, tuning in, you probably know this, but just a refresh, yesterday LeBron James announced that he would be leaving the Lakers, but not the NBA. He is taking potential suitors' interest through his agent, Rich Paul. He has made it clear through leaks and through Rich Paul, it's not about the money, so they might take less. Sorry. USA's on, so I'm going to be making a lot of noises while we're talking because I thought they were going to score, but they didn't. Okay, we'll let you know what happens. And today, the Lakers responded by filling out the rest of their roster, more or less. They added Walker Kessler in what will be a sign and trade. It's a 4-year, $130 million deal for the soon-to-be former Utah big man. Comes in at $32.5 million per year. The price was steep. It was 2 unprotected first-round picks in 31 and 33, and 2 pick swaps, 28 and 30. They went and they got Quentin Grimes for 4 years and $60 million, $15 million per year. They got Sandro Mamakaleshi. I'm just going to say Mamu. For 4 years, $52 million. I butchered that one. About $13 million per year. Colin Sexton, who I really like. Some of you do not. I think D-Mac, you do too, right? You like Sexton?
I'm feeling it. I can talk myself into it.
2 years. That's where I am. I actually like him.
Yeah.
2 years on $19 million. Obviously, they gave Austin Reeves the max amount of money last week when that was something that you could do. Was that last week or this week? It all bleeds together. I don't know. There's a day of the week, and Austin Reeves fell down on a golf course and got very, very, very rich. And so we're trying to make sense. And by the way, the Lakers have no tradable first-round picks for the next 7 years. They've invested almost $500 million in Luka Doncic. Okay, cool, but also Austin Reeves and Walker Kessler. Basically, all the picks and all the money have been constructed for this roster and this team. As some of you have pointed out in the chat at the Fan LA, there's some flexibility, but the least of any team in the NBA. They only have, 1 second-round pick between now and 33, maybe 0. They are all in on this particular constructed roster, D-Mac.
They absolutely are, and this is what I think you have to be if you're Rob Pelinka and the Lakers, and you've seen what's already transpired this offseason. LeBron's gone, the Luka era is here, and it's all about Luka Doncic, man. He's the producer, the director, the star of the movie. He's everything here in Hollywood now, and this is the first week that it's really felt that way. It really has, and we'll see. It does feel like there's a transition of power that has occurred over the last year, 2 years. You're the guy that has the great sense and the great feel for LeBron James and how he utilizes his power in organizations. And I think one of the big things here is Luka's getting older. Luka doesn't have a title. Luka doesn't have an MVP. Is this the time where Luka kind of looks around and sees what guys like LeBron have done throughout their careers? And does Luka change a little bit? That's what I'm curious about. Is this where Luka starts to get aggressive in how he handles his career? Because he's got a lot of leverage, knowing that he can be gone in a couple years, and he knows that his career will be largely looked at as a what-if and potentially a failure if he doesn't get a championship. So I'm very curious to see, are we getting, not the bad Luka, but almost is this the where he kind of turns into a no more Mr. Nice Guy Luka with how he handled himself with this organization.
An anti-hero in a good way.
Yeah.
D-Mac and Reiter, 97.1 The Fan. I just wrote down what I think are 3 or 4 really interesting unanswered questions. And I don't mean the unanswered question of, is Walker Kessler worth the money? I mean things that I hope that the local Lakers beat writers and media ferret out over the next few months. And I'm just going to run these through and you tell me if any of these sort of spark any interest as we dissect the Lakers. Huge 24-36 hours here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports with Doug McCain and Bill Reiter. That's me. D-Mac and Reiter. That's you, D-Mac. Okay, 1. Was LeBron really welcomed back, I think is interesting. In the sense of, was he really welcomed back and they're like, well, we're going to pay you less, but we want you? Or were they trying to push him out the door? Why did he actually leave? How much decision-making, because these are critical decisions to give away all these draft picks. The Lakers entered free agency with 5 sort of tradable first-round assets, and now they have none of them. So was that a Pelinka decision? To what degree, if so? Or was it a Guggenheim decision in the sense of the Dodgers group bought the Lakers, as we know, and Andrew Friedman and Farhan Zaidi has been involved in some of those meetings. I'm really curious, how much power did Pelinka have? What did Luka want as it relates to all of these moves on LeBron? And again, I don't know if the beat writers out there will get to the bottom of this. If it was Pelinka getting to sort of pull the strings, to what degree was he desperate versus clear-eyed, this is actually the right move for LA?
I think the big question about the first one is, how did the Lakers operate on that? Because, I mean, Luka Doncic has been pretty well documented about the request that he had, right? It was about, I want Austin Reeves back. I want an upgrade at center. I always cringe when I hear A-list center because the truth is there were no A-list centers available, but I think there was a massive upgrade at center. If LeBron James and Luka Doncic felt like they could be happy together, as LeBron James said, right? He's searching for happiness, right? So here's the thing. If LeBron James said he's searching for happiness, right? And he's not coming to the organization to take less with his organization and play with Luka Doncic, that tells me, by definition, he wasn't happy here, right? So,
do you think he wasn't happy? Yes, or he wasn't happy. He jumped before he got pushed.
I do think that. I mean, I really do. I think that it was a very gentle nudging of the, hey, I'm going to hold the door open for you, but I'm locking it right after you leave, right? And we're going to change the locks on the door. Do we have a goal here?
No, well, they're just attacking. I'm getting excited.
Yeah, you get
I do. I get really into I get soccer. I scream. I yell.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Sorry.
Yeah, the thing about soccer, it's like, it's the anticipation of
soccer boy!
Soccer boy! Okay.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, you are.
What was more insulting? The first time you called me soccer boy, or having one of your super fans call your radio show little? I read 97 fan.
I don't even know. Block that caller. I don't even know what you're talking about. I will say.
Wait, you don't?
Calling me out.
Were you talking to D-Fish?
I was about to say calling me out mid-sentence while I was misspeaking about Derek Fisher, I think takes the cake today. But I will live with that one. Yeah, you did that, which was a good one. You got me.
Well, let's dissect that. It's the mid-speaking that bothered you. It was the interruption.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
No.
Turn my mic off.
No, but by the way, did you get your Bronny jersey? They made $50 million off that. Remember, you were saying that I wasn't speaking facts on that. But yeah, to get back.
Whoa. I corrected myself on that.
No, it's okay.
And I can't believe you just did that mid me not talking.
But I will say this about the LeBron thing, and this is what the point I'm trying to make about Luka Doncic here in all of this is ultimately, I think, going to be a decision that I don't think is going to be talked about from the Luka angle, because everyone just assumes it's, I'm LeBron, I'm leaving, I'm taking this power. But Luka could learn from LeBron as far as we know, Le GM. Do we have the Luka GM, right? And did they have a goal?
No, but they almost had a Olympia. Was that a goal? I can't even think. That was Bosnia Herzegovina almost scored.
Really?
Wow.
Man,
I'm sorry. You were
well, because you have USA win this game 4-1.
I think that what I told you, I think they should win. Yeah, they should win this game 4-1.
Yeah, a lot of goals to score, man. We're 11.
You're just looking for any spot.
No, I'm just curious. I mean,
soccer boy.
Hey, man, you are, bro, and I respect it. But yeah, I think the thing about LeBron though and Luka is if this, like, what I'm trying to say,
do you think Luka wanted him gone?
I think that Luka thinks that he can get closer to a championship without the distractions of LeBron James, because they're not a good fit together. Like I said, it's like having three quarterbacks and no offensive line. And I also think that that LeBron. I think
Are you quoting yourself?
and I think that Luka thinks that if I'm going to win a championship, here's the thing: would Luka win a championship with LeBron? Seriously, can you imagine how annoying that would be if I'm Luka Doncic?
No,
where
you take it.
I know you take it. You absolutely would take it. Championship's a championship, but if there's a championship and you win it, and the only one that you win potentially is linked to LeBron James, and really the narrative coming out of that is LeBron's the GOAT, he's winning championships at 42, and da-da-da-da-da. I just feel like all championships aren't created equal as they're linked to your legacy. And I think that Luka Doncic, almost like Kobe years ago, where Kobe was saying, hey, I got to win a championship without Shaq. Luka Doncic saying, I need to win a championship with myself and Reeves and with this new vision. So I do think that Luka Doncic, whether it be privately, whether it be his information that he was relaying to Mark Walter and Rob Pelinka and the powers that be, I think that Luka and his camp feel like he is closer to a championship without LeBron James. what must be done eventually should be done immediately, and I think that was the Lakers' angle on that one.
Yeah, I'm with you. D-Mac and Reiter 97.1 The Fan. Here is kind of my...
It's a kick.
You scared the crap out of me because I wasn't looking at it. That was not funny. That was mean-spirited. This isn't Sex in the City. Okay? This is real life. I think that there's a chance for Luka Doncic that trying to win an NBA championship with LeBron James was like trying to make Mad Max Fury for Charlie's Theron with Tom Hardy. Or was Julia Roberts doing I Love Trouble with Nick Nolte? And apparently, I didn't know this until just now, or maybe it's Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams. Apparently they hated each other in the Notebook when they made it.
I didn't know that.
I've never seen that. But apparently it's a crier. If you are making a great... And by the way, Mad Max Fury Road's amazing. But Charlize Theron hated Tom Hardy. I've actually seen an interview where Tom Hardy basically apologized for like the way that he acted. Some actors, some athletes, some Luka Doncic's will go, you know what? The juice is worth the squeeze. I'll put up with it. The difference is, for an actor or an actress, you're on set for what, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months. For a basketball player, you're playing together for almost a year. And I do think there's a world, because of what I know about LeBron and how he takes the oxygen out of the room and he makes it about him, and we discussed his documentary he wants to do this upcoming year. I think there's a world where, to your point, Luka said, you know what, if LeBron was still a sure thing, and I think this is actually a sort of a microcosm for LeBron's reality in the NBA in general. If LeBron were still the LeBron of 5 or 6 years ago, to your point from yesterday, D-Mac on D-Mac and Reiter 97.1 The Fan, I think Luka would just be like, fine, I'll just roll up my sleeves and deal with it. But I think the fact that winning with LeBron was a, at best, 40-60 proposition at the level he wanted to, and LeBron was still probably 100% the LeBron that can just drive people crazy, I think Luka probably didn't want the guy there. And if he expressed it, or J.J. Redick sensed it, or the Lakers understood it, making LeBron go away as peacefully as possible might have been the same thing as making Luka Doncic as happy as possible. And if that's the case, and again, I hope we figure this out in the next few months from the reporting out there, then I guess you give Rob Pelinka a lot of credit for threading that needle successfully.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. I mean, because we know that anytime you deal with LeBron's camp and LeBron James, and you're basically trying to continue to make sure that you're the organization out there that wants as many superstars, right? You want to be the first organization that pops into a legendary basketball player's head when you say, which franchise would you want to play with, right? And the Lakers have carefully continued to make sure that they are the superstar destination. So, as you point out, to thread that needle like that, if you're Rob Pelinka, to say, hey, can we just ease you out, right? Can you just softly probably leave like that? It kind of makes the most sense.
How do you do that? Like, I was thinking about this, D-Mac and Reiter 97.1 The Fan. How do you get LeBron to leave the way that he did, right? He said nice things. He did it quickly. He didn't burn the world down. And by the way, if this is the case, LeBron didn't do it to be nice to the Lakers. In my opinion, he did it to save face. Like, how do you basically trick LeBron into leaving the right way? I think it's you reach out and you say, look, we love LeBron. We're going to build a winner. We think we can pay him. And then you give an insulting amount of money with all the nice words. Like, we want him back, and we're so excited, and lots of good things are going to happen, and we're going to try to get Walker Kessler, and we're going to try to do this and that. And, like, we can't pay LeBron 40, but we can pay LeBron 7, 11, mid-level exception. Right? Like, that's how they do it, right? That they make him a fake offer.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that with a friend where they're like, I want to hang out? And you're like, me too, dude. I live in Manhattan Beach. There's this great, great place in Calabasas. You want to meet there? Knowing they'll never say yes.
Yeah, exactly, right? You make the plan. If you make it happen, you make the excuse, right? And if you don't show up like me sometimes on the weekend when you guys have soccer watch parties.
Sometimes.
It just happens. But
it's amazing how many times you haven't shown up to things that you were promised at.
That's not true. I was at a zoo.
You just brought it up. It's totally true. Were you hanging with Derek Fisher? It turns out, get the ball down! Sorry, my mic's on.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
Oh, that was almost in the net of a goal.
Soccer boy!
Yeah,
that's me!
Woo! But
he's onside. Oh, you got to get the header down.
But I think, too, though, there is a world where you really have to have this work for both sides. I think that also this is on LeBron, though. This is on LeBron, too, because I feel like LeBron absolutely ghosted. I feel like LeBron didn't do anything to make the Lakers think that they wanted to make something work out.
I apologize. It was a ricochet. It was hard to get the header down.
That was way up.
I'm listening to everything you're saying.
Wait,
now.
should they already have 4 goals?
I'm invested.
Should they already have 4 goals?
Well, as you know from Sex and the City, Season 3, Episode 4, love is hard.
Yeah. Man, this Boston team's looking pretty tough.
What are you talking about?
They look good. They're preventing.
No, it's
tied.
That's
Nil.
I'm just mad. Yeah, that was unfair. I'm just mad at you for having no-showed me and our boss like 4 times.
It was, first of all, it was 6. But second of all, I'll be there next time.
No, you won't.
You watch. I feel like you've watched more
Talk to
World Cup soccer games outside of your house, like at bars, at restaurants. I mean, you're out there. You're in the streets, man. You're with the people.
They serve food.
The people's champ,
and
Bill
they serve
Reiter.
Booze.
Yeah, that always
That's
helps.
fun, Also, I thought you were going to be there. By the way, yesterday, I got invited to the Cantina in Hollywood with my buddy for the Mexico watch party. It was fun. It was great. I invited you. This is true, Bursch. He goes, like, before the show or first segment, I'm like, do you want to go? He's like, yeah, I'm in. And I texted my wife or called my wife in the break. I can't remember which. But I was like, yeah, like, Doug said he's going to go. And she's like, oh, he's going to go. Like, he's not going to go.
Oh, my goodness.
I knew you lied.
That
knew you lied.
That wasn't a real invite by you. That
Yes,
wasn't.
it was.
No, it was not. That was very
Yes,
courtesy.
it was. No, I want you to go.
No, it was.
Actually, I told
No.
Bruno. Bruno
Yeah.
watches the show.
That
and
was not. That was
Bruno
not
watches the show. My buddy Bruno, and he's a Mexico fan. He's from Spain, but his kids are his wife is Mexican, and so Mexican American, and so like he's a Mexico fan. His daughters were born. I think they were born in Mexico. He's a great guy. He's my best friend in L.A. I showed up. He was hammered. He was just like already hammered because I didn't get there till 6:20, and the game got delayed. And he's like, "I love D-Mac. You guys are funny. What happened on the show today?" And I go, D-Mac was going to come, and before I could, he's like, yes! And I'm not kidding, he hugged me. A lot of it was the tequila. And they're like, no, dude, he was going to come, but then he said he was going to come, but then he bailed. And you would think that I had picked up his puppy and given it away to someone else. He was so sad. Almost as sad as I was. It was not a courtesy invite, in part because I knew that Bruno would likes the show and would have been down to hang out
that
with
was that like
that
was that come through energy where you didn't even
I gave you real invite energy.
You didn't even give me an address. You didn't even give me an address. You didn't tell me where it was.
I thought we were going together.
You said Hollywood.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I was also looking forward to the ride because I had to take an Uber. So I'm driving over.
Oh wow! So
but
I was going to be used for a ride.
No, I wanted to hang out with you, and I also didn't want to pay for an Uber. It was a double whammy.
I was like, "Where's it at?" You're like, "It's in Hollywood." Oh, really?
Uber boy.
Give me 5 stars.
I really.
Give me a tip,
dude. I'll give you 5 hugs. I'll give you 5
better than a
stars.
Tip. But yeah, look, I like it. Just look, maybe. Oh, here we go. Oh,
that's handball.
Is it?
He fell on the ball in his hand.
Whoa, dude, how's it 0-0 still?
It's not even remote, dude. You are. This is how insane you are. Everyone can tell you're rooting against America in the World Cup.
That's
so
crazy.
That I'll be wrong about something.
That's crazy. I don't know if that theory is completely wrong.
That is.
I'm diabolical, baby.
Honestly, dude, I'm gonna send you the GIF from Fight Club again because that's what that reaction is.
Jeez, this. Honestly though, we got a corner here, right?
Yeah, are we gonna live do it? Don't. LeBron, what would you rather have happen? Would you rather have the U.S. men's national team win the World Cup this year, or the Lakers make the conference finals and lose in 7 games to the Spurs or the Thunder?
Ooh. Wait, win the whole World Cup?
Yeah.
Okay, man, that's of course win the World Cup.
Win the World Cup or make the finals.
Win the World Cup, man.
Win the World Cup or the Lakers win an NBA championship.
Lakers win a championship.
No,
yeah.
By the way, I know you lied in the last answer.
What?
I saw your eyes.
I mean, because
this is radio. If I were a Jeanie and nobody was around, you would have taken the Lakers in a heartbeat.
Oh no, I'm invested. I'm invested.
Jeanie.
Yeah, to me, I mean, because to me, if you could actually talk yourself into the U.S. winning, I mean, I was talking to a friend yesterday about how that would rate. Like,
that's a great question. How many people live in this country? 250 million?
It's like 350, right?
Is it really?
350? Burge, population expert.
We've been busy as a country since I last looked that up.
Whoa! Hey!
342 million.
Wait, that's how.
Whoa! Hey, sex in the country.
Sex all over the country. Yeah. Burge is like, you can't say sex. I have to dump it.
But seriously though, I mean, you talk about Super Bowl ratings, right? 100.
Sorry.
No.
There's a whole lot of nothing.
Oh, there's a kick.
Put his thumb up.
But seriously, you talk about soccer ratings. I mean, I'm
going to go 200 million.
You think 200 million would? I think you're right.
I think half the people would watch it.
Because really
in
over
the final?
$1 billion. Yeah, exactly. Well, just domestically. So
domestically, yeah.
Super Bowl.
Half the
you're
country.
talking about over 100 million.
60% of the people. I think you get a 60 share.
Wow. I mean, think about how crazy that would be.
I'm not an expert on this stuff.
Super Bowl.
I'm not Andrew Marchand.
I mean, it is kind of wild how much interest that would bring up. I mean, Super Bowl 59, that is the highest rated, most watched Super Bowl in history. Eagles versus Chiefs, 127.7 million. I think a World Cup final would 100% pass that easily. Think about that.
I don't know what this is, what this means, but in the chat at the Fan LA, I will flip you the bird. Reiter's guilt trip game is epic. David 100 LA, laughing emojis. What was the guilt trip? Because you betrayed me as a friend and never show up to hang out together?
It's crazy. The guilt is insane.
What's the guilt trip, though?
There's guilt tripping, there's gaslighting.
I don't gaslight.
There's slandering.
No, you're the
it's all the
gaslighter.
above.
You're the gaslighter. Don't even
as far
try
as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, you're the guy that literally.
Okay, let me ask you. Let me
D-Fish
flip
talked
on
to
you.
him and then pretend it was AI.
Okay, what would you rather have?
Okay.
What would you rather have?
Yeah.
The Lakers win the next 5 NBA Finals?
Yeah.
Or Barca win just the next Champions League?
Barca win the next Champions League.
Wow.
I'm not a Lakers fan. I cover the Lakers.
I mean, but still, I'm not saying you are, but I mean.
I know what you're doing.
You're in this city.
I know what you're doing.
What? I'm just curious.
I know what you're doing. That's fine.
What?
You're trying to make me look bad to the audience, but the thing is, I don't pander, Doug, and I'm not a Lakers fan.
Okay, what would you rather have? Barca win the next 5 Champions Leagues? No, win the next 10 Champions.
Or have you show up to one outing? It's a tough call. I'm going to go. Can I have some time?
Yeah.
Can I have a lifeline?
Yeah. You have a lifeline.
Can I call my life?
Yeah, honestly, give me your percentage chance that you think right now, based on everything you know
we'll
about
still be
this
friends
beautiful
in 10 years, 100%.
Okay, that's for sure. But that percentage chance right now that the U.S. can get to the World Cup final.
I mean, their path is really hard. I thought it was going to be easier. Like the math said that they had a much easier path. But France and Spain are on their to get to the final?
Yeah.
4.3%.
Dude, that's not nothing, man. That's not nothing.
Yeah.
Wow, you're so on the money. Yeah. I mean, it's right there.
What are the odds?
It says ESPN has 3 to 4% chance.
Whoa, are you serious?
Yeah. You know,
I just crushed that.
Well, you know why?
You should hang
right?
out with me at bars.
Well, that's why you're affectionately known as Soccer Boy.
Soccer Boy. All right, we're gonna keep whatever we're doing in this hour. We're gonna keep talking Lakers, screaming at the game, having Doug tell you that I hate the Lakers. Is it I hate LeBron or Lakers? I can't keep track.
No, I didn't say that. I'm just curious.
We'll find out.
5 titles versus 1, and you want Barca? Come on.
Would you rather have the Dodgers win 5 straight World Series or the PSG win one thing?
Dodgers 5 straight World Series.
Dodgers 1 World Series or PSG win 5 Champions Leagues?
Dodgers World Series.
Right, because you're a Dodgers fan, okay? There we go. We've established it. Great
PSG's my side piece.
Will Doug ever show up at something he promises to be at? We will answer that question and Lakers questions next on D-Mac and Reiter. USA, baby! 1-0. I didn't see it because we were just coming back here on 97.1 The Fan. Bill Reiter with you. Let's go. Now it's offsides. These refs are terrible. I didn't even see it. I don't know if it's offside, but there was a penalty 5 minutes ago. D-Mac and Reiter. An emotional D-Mac and Reiter. A patriotic D-Mac and Reiter.
Does it count?
He's offsides.
Dude.
Unfortunately. Presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, the new voice of LA Sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That
is terrible. I saw a funny tweet, and it was like, I don't understand why so many Americans are confused about how offsides works in soccer. It's easy. If anything exciting happens, that's offsides.
That's for real. I screwed up. There was the Iran match. I totally forgot that it's the second man because you're always just looking at the guy closest to the goalie, but the goalie was so far out that did you see a bunch of people like, this is a conspiracy? I got that wrong, too. It can be confusing. It's also just bad goalkeeping when you're that far from your box.
Man.
One of the two guys closest.
I mean, honestly, if this goes into the half and it's tied, lots of
pressure.
pressure.
I'm going to stay here, by the way, at the office, which I know a lot of people care about, so it's a good thing I made that a radio topic. 855-97 LA Fan. 855-97 LA Fan. Here's another thing that maybe we can dive into this more tomorrow. Bursch, maybe if you can remember this. I know we're all kind of half distracted. I said one of our first shows, I made the case that I thought JJ Redick was going to be a disaster of a coach. And I made the case that I thought I was wrong, that there's a lot of promise there. I think he can be a really good coach, and a lot of Lakers fans, this is in the early days, but the people who were listening got pretty mad. I still think there's a lot of upside to JJ Redick. And I think it's interesting to talk about. Here's my question. JJ Redick was placed into that job by LeBron James. JJ Redick may be good at the job, but he wasn't really qualified for the job. He was literally a podcaster and a TV personality who was LeBron's partner, and that's why he got the job. Do you think LeBron feels betrayed by JJ Redick? Do you think they're still talking to each other? Or do you think he's like, oh, to quote The Wire, which you and I were discussing earlier, his response is it's all in the game? Because Luka came in, the Lakers wisely transitioned to a Luka era. I think we're in agreement here on D-Mac and Reiter. That is it's not a LeBron era. And the guy who only got the job because of LeBron has seamlessly transitioned to the new Luka regime. And I don't think it's been discussed that much. Did JJ owe LeBron any kind of loyalty?
I think when you look at where LeBron's at and you look at where JJ Redick is at, I just don't think he has the clout and the resume and the track record to be able to say, hey, I can pull some strings to try to facilitate LeBron staying here. I think that JJ Redick, like we talked about,
That's interesting.
He's still trying to figure out, am I a legitimate NBA head coach? And he's had a couple really good seasons in the regular season where I think when you look at some of the factors, knowing that, hey, he gets Luka Doncic, doesn't have a big. So that team was not expected to win a championship. And then year 2, you have those runs when players are healthy. Got off to that 15-4 start with Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic. You talk about March, which is the most discussed March in NBA history for one team, where the Lakers go 15-2 and they start to rise in the Western Conference standings. But then you lose Luka Doncic with the hamstring. Essentially, that ended your season. You also lose Austin Reeves. So I think that the evaluation period for JJ Redick is, let's say he won a championship, right? Let's
then
say
he could have had the weight to throw around.
Maybe a little more weight to throw around, right?
Because it's a really good point, dude. Like, and I think it's a fascinating question. D-Mac and Reiter here on 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. An unkind rendering of the JJ Redick situation would be that JJ Redick is the assistant who got hired by the big shot, and then when things changed, betrayed the person who got on the job. An unkind sort of reading of the JJ Redick situation would be that he is Bob Sugar from Jerry Maguire, who's like, Jerry, don't be so bleeping selfish. You know how hard it is to fire your mentor? And who, by the way, I love that Jay Moore character. I don't know what actually Bob Sugar owed Jerry Maguire, and I don't know what JJ Redick actually owes LeBron James, but JJ Redick is not a Laker head coach if it's not for LeBron, thinking that's his guy, clearly. And to your exact point, and I hadn't thought of that, Doug, it's really smart, that JJ Redick hasn't done enough to have the clout to sort of maybe help LeBron, meaning if JJ Redick lost his job tomorrow, he may not be a head coach again. To me, that means he should have more loyalty to LeBron, not less, because it underscores the fact that he would never have had that chance if it weren't for LeBron. I'm a loyalty guy, and sometimes to a fault, but I haven't heard people talk about the fact that the guy that got this career-making opportunity because of LeBron hasn't even, that I know, Burst and I miss it, put out a "we're going to miss LeBron" statement. That's crazy.
It is. I will say, it will be the most anticipated JJ Redick press conference in a long time. And the first question, 100%, should be, what are your thoughts on LeBron James leaving? What was the communication level like there? Because it's a tough spot for JJ Redick where, yeah, that's his boy. Yeah, LeBron definitely helped get him the job. Yes, he's probably the reason why he did get the job. But also, I think that takes away from what JJ Redick has been able to do as a head coach, where if he was bad for the first couple years, he'd be gone.
But what was he good? I mean, that's the thing. I think he was, but he also
has
LeBron
potential.
James
He has
and then
potential.
LeBron and Luka.
There's potential there. Like, there's potential.
We're gonna
he kind of
find
looks
out.
the part. We're going to find out.
Yeah.
I mean, is he the second coming of Phil Jackson or Greg Popovich or Steve Kerr or Eric Spoelstra?
That's a high standard.
The jury's out on that.
I like that he puts both. I mean, the jury's way.
Yeah, I mean,
the jury's
obviously,
way out on that.
he's not a made man at all. Like, I mean, you talk about, is he that? Absolutely not. But does he kind of look and feel from a personality standpoint like someone that can handle being a Lakers head coach? I think he's learning on the job. And we just talk about Dave Roberts, who just won his 1,000th game as a skipper, someone that has been a very maligned manager at parts of his career.
But he earned that job.
He did, but he was never a manager before that job.
No, but he was a bench coach. I mean,
he was a bench coach. He was an interim manager for one game.
Yeah, but respectfully, being a bench coach is a tried and true way to being, as you know, a big league manager. Being LeBron James' podcast partner is a tried and true way to look like a sycophant. I mean, it's just a different. It's a different route, you know?
It is. I mean, it definitely is. But I mean, there's been examples, right? I mean, I think that if you're JJ, no one.
And I'm not criticizing JJ. I think he can be. I think he might be a really good coach. I'm just look. JJ Redick does not have a reputation for being. If you rank the world's nicest people, he wouldn't be on that list. It doesn't mean that he's a jerk, but some people think he is. You can't put out a statement that's like, I loved working with LeBron and it was an honor and I wish him the best. Maybe I missed it, but I don't think I did because I consume so much content. I don't think that's owed by Luka Doncic. I don't think it's owed by a lot of people. And you know how this is. Behind the scenes, sometimes people are jerks. And people, and I've worked in enough media things with famous people that you just never know who's nice and who's not nice. I mean, I'll just tell you, like Joel Klatt's really famous. I've never been treated worse by a person in my life than Joel Klatt, I think, other than Chris Paul. And I'm not afraid to say it on the radio. That's fine. Like, it is what it is. Doesn't mean Joel Klatt's bad at his job. But, like, if Joel Klatt were to retire tomorrow, I wouldn't write a nice note about him because I don't think he's a nice person. But if Joel Klatt had gotten me hired, even if he treated me the way that he did treat me, I'd write a note. JJ Redick owes it to LeBron regardless of what LeBron was like behind the scenes. And I did enjoy just getting that Joel Klatt diss in there for like just seriously.
Wow, Joel Klatt, man.
Yeah.
Jeez, we had him on our best and worst takes a couple weeks ago, right? Yeah, Joel Klatt.
I don't like bullies.
Yeah, I mean,
and LeBron might be one behind the scenes, but he got JJ Redick. He got Redick hired, dude.
But I mean, I think if you're JJ, I don't think you owe LeBron anything. I really don't. Like, I mean, I think that if you're LeBron too, you have to respect the fact that you might have gotten your friend a job, but I mean, how many times have we seen that in life where someone a family member, a friend gets you a job somewhere, and it doesn't mean you're always going to, what, are they going to retire on the same day, right? Are you guys going to quit together? Are they a package deal? I think that, to me, that JJ Redick's job security isn't the same as it was. I think that he's largely going to be defined and evaluated by what he does in the next year to 2 years. But not having LeBron around to secure that, I think that that's a part of it. But do you really think that the Lakers 100% hired J.J. Redick because of LeBron?
Yes.
100%. Not 80-20, not 90-10.
You're from this town, right? And I have worked in like a Hollywood-adjacent part of this town. I worked on the Fox lot for a long time. We both know what it's like where somebody powerful that isn't like that the world revolves around in a sort of in a LA sort of fame way, where they say, I want to do this. And even if you go, maybe not, and they go, I want to do this, a lot of people in the room start to go, man, that's such a great idea. Have you seen The Studio with Seth Rogen?
Yeah.
Where they're making the Kool-Aid movie? And he's got to make the terrible version of the Kool-Aid movie. Yeah. And slowly everyone's like, oh my God, that's a great Kool-Aid. What a great idea. That, at a minimum, LeBron kept pushing for JJ, and the conversations went about hiring JJ the way they went on that show about making the Kool-Aid movie, the way that they ended up making it. Yes, I think it's semantics, so I get to the devil's in the details, but yes, 0% chance JJ Redick is the Lakers head coach if LeBron is not the person who says he should have the job, which, by the way, everybody gets their break the way they get their break, and as I've said on this show early on, I think JJ has proven doubters like me wrong, and I think the doubts were justifiable. I think JJ is actually a pretty interesting comp for Walker Kessler in the sense of just because something looks desperate or like had to happen for reasons you don't love doesn't mean it doesn't turn out to be great. And Walker Kessler has a lot more like body of evidence that he's going to work out than JJ Redick had, and I think Redick's probably a great coach, but I don't think he gets the job without LeBron.
Interesting. I think, for me, I think that it's 80-20. I mean, just complete speculation, just reading the situation. Fair. Just because I think that the Lakers, they like the idea of a Pat Riley 2.0, right? Someone that has charisma, someone that kind of looks the part of a superstar potential LA head coach. And yes, you're right. He has not earned it. And if he doesn't win a championship in the next couple of years, he will be canned. But I also think that...
You think so?
I think LeBron opened the door and like put his foot in the door. I don't know if he just completely shoved him through the door.
I mean, dude, I will say this respectfully to your opinion, and I respect, like, you're building a good case, and it's smart. This is the organization where LeBron forced them to draft Bronny, give him a guaranteed contract he didn't deserve, and then LeBron waited until Bronny's deal he didn't deserve got guaranteed more he didn't deserve to announce he wasn't coming back. If LeBron's willing to pull publicly those kind of machinations to get Bronny James to the Lakers when he didn't earn it, of course he did it with J.J. Redick, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I maybe 90-10. It just feels like, but to your point though, I'm very fascinated to know what those conversations were like. Did LeBron reach out to JJ, say, "Oh, have fun with Luka" or whatever? I mean,
I'd love to know
there
that.
probably
some passive aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, that just seemed like something that LeBron might do, right? I mean, his initial tweet with the hearts, the purple and gold hearts, and saying he enjoyed his stint and hopefully made some Lakers fans proud.
Yep.
It did feel like, hey, no one appreciated me to the level that I feel like I should be appreciated, and maybe J.J. Redick did not appreciate getting him that job. I mean,
and maybe LeBron turned on him too. Like when you get people hired in this world, sometimes people misconstrue that as I get to treat you badly if things don't go well. And so like I'm not there's a lot of details we don't have. I will I'll close here, and I know James Coe is going to come in. James Coe show coming up at 6. He's going to pick up the baton and keep talking a lot of Lakers with you. A great show here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. I also think that if you're JJ Redick, it's interesting that the goodbye was signed by Jeanie Buss. It could have said the Lakers. You couldn't have put anybody's name on that. Now, maybe that's because Jeanie has an emotional connection to LeBron, and like her dad, she's close to the players that represented her family's team, and she wanted her name on there. Or maybe the fact it's her name. It could say Los Angeles Lakers. I just think there's a lot of interesting sort of feelings and political things that, again, I hope get answered in the next few weeks as reporters fill out the details of what's been going on. USA still 0-0, but we all win when we hang out here on DMAC. USA, baby! Sorry, I know I was going to break.
You really
Let's
score?
Go! Sorry to yell at you in your car, your house, or on the stream. Oh, what a goal.
I believe that we will win.
Get up.
Is this real this time?
I mean, it looks like
right.
It looks like it's not been ruled off. USA's up 1-0. The guy that looks like Russell Crowe is the coach. He's DMAC. I'm Reiter. I'm sorry I just screamed to the microphone. I will try to be more calm when we return, close out the show with some Lakers talk, and celebrate USA up 1-0 so far next on DMAC and Reiter. right, welcome back into the show. D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. Calldowntown.com. He's Doug McCain. I'm Bill Reiter. And we are both extraordinarily appreciative to all of you who have been listening on the FM, hanging out on the stream, calling in on the phone line. This, building a radio station from scratch is a lot of work. And Deefish and Decker, Brock and Alex, you and I, James Coe, I think we're all working our tails off. We love doing these jobs. And to every one of you that let us, however you sort of find the show and let us come into your world, thank for your Odyssey app as a spot, right? On the FM in the car, wherever you're listening, on the radio, on the stream, on YouTube, at the Fan LA. Thank you. And that's been true the whole time. But today and yesterday has felt like it's been really cool doing radio in LA the last couple days that have just made me realize how lucky we are to do this job, dude.
Yeah, it's been big. And for me, just getting all the callers so exciting and just getting the people of this town that love these teams, are passionate, emotional, and these teams are a lifestyle for the people of this city. So to get those people calling in this week, it almost feels like the level of excitement is just like, it really gives me life. It's like the scene from Ghostbusters where they get the call and she's like, got one! But we got like 20, 30. It was crazy. It was really 40, cool. Hundreds. It was nuts how many people phoned in. And hey, man, the Lakers, the Dodgers, all the teams here, people go crazy.
This is a huge, huge stretch. Can you imagine what it's going to be like doing this show when the Dodgers win that World Series and/or when the Lakers win 7 games in a row at some point, November, December, and/or, well, by the way, speaking of the Dodgers, Mookie Betts is a scratch today, wrist soreness. We'll get back to talking a lot of Dodgers tomorrow, I imagine. We don't know much about it, but hopefully it's just preventative.
Yeah, seems like they're just erring on the side of caution. It's a veteran player. Mookie, the only problem I have is that he's been just swinging a hot bat of late, so hoping he could build on that. What do you got?
We look so good. Our sort of interplay, USA. We had a little that's a great ball in the middle. Oh, off the top, off the crossbar.
I feel like USA has the possession.
Dude.
Oh,
it's great football, dude.
Wait a minute. I don't like how I'm delayed.
You saw. By the way, my buddy Will, who's my neighbor and is listening to the show, texted me that I'm behind by 20 seconds. I watch it on YouTube TV, and it has a massive delay.
Yeah, and I'm even more delayed.
The good news is I can't do spoilers for people that are watching and listening, right?
I'm still watching. Mine's on such a delay. I'm still watching the Paraguay game. USA Paraguay.
How are we doing? I think we're going to win.
We're doing pretty solid.
Put some money down on 4-1.
It's looking pretty good.
Put some soccer boy.
Yes, that's me.
I don't know why you call me soccer boy, but that's extremely funny.
Well, because you're the resident soccer expert here. But
no, soccer expert I could have lived with.
How about soccer
You've been
man?
Like, soccer star. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
I don't know where that came from. I'm not gonna lie. But
soccer in the city guy. Would have been a callback. Man, we look. By the way, one thing I was gonna say.
Soccer analyst.
See, it comes off differently. One thing I was gonna say about the U.S. men's national team. Became a little physical. Before we scored the goal, is we were getting angry. We were throwing our hands up at the ref. I think the ref had not done a great job, but I was worried about the panic setting in. Right, just like the pressure. Other than if we're about to get some cards here, I have to see what happens. I do feel like since we scored the goal, we've looked much more calm, relaxed, sort of in focus and in control, which is what we need to be doing.
Yeah, it feels like that. It definitely feels like you're seeing aggressive USA attack. Lots of possession here. I like this, though. It's a little mix-up here.
They're
getting a little physical, Bosnian USA.
I love the passion.
Oh, that's a shot in the back, dude. You see that?
Yeah.
I like that.
You're
still a little dirty.
Paraguay game?
Yes.
2 weeks ago. USA is up 1-0, and we are winning in America. We're all winning on here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, because James Coe is in the house. James Coe Show. What's up? I'm trying not to be a yeller into my microphone, but I did, James Coe, just yell pretty aggressively into the microphone a few minutes ago because there was a USA goal, and I had the mic on.
Correct.
Pretty excited.
As you should be.
I am. I remain. Doug over there is watching the Paraguay game.
I'm on a little delay. He's like right current.
Are you rocking the YouTube TV?
Little delay.
No, I'm off of.
So you're probably you're on the same stream as me. Though.
Yeah.
We're pretty far behind though. Apparently, some of the listeners let me know.
That's okay. That's okay.
That means we're spoiler free.
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
What do you got going on the old show today,
man? Yesterday was wall-to-wall NBA coverage. We're going to continue that streak today. I just have so many thoughts in regards to what's happening with the Lakers right now. I like some of their moves.
How do you feel risk level about Walker Kessler?
Oh, it's very high. Yeah. Extremely high. I mean, we're talking about a 5-game sample. That's what he got paid off of. Let's be real.
I mean, 20 season before that, though. I mean, you definitely. I mean, one of the best offensive rebounders in the game. I agree, though. I mean, definitely the risk is high.
We had I made the exact same comment James made at 2:00, and you were like, "I'm gonna get you." But when James says it, it's me. Oh, shucks,
no,
that's a swell point,
look,
JK.
Like I said, hey
what
man,
the hell?
Hey. The parachute isn't overpriced when you already go out of the plane, man. The Lakers had no other options if you wanted to get some type of upgrade at center. I mean, I agree, though. I mean, I think
he got real mad at me.
Look, they had to. I agree with you. They had to overpay. It felt like a little bit of a desperation move. But that being said, I like the moves all in a vacuum. I just wonder when you put them all together, does this appreciably make the Lakers an appreciably better team than last year? I'm not totally convinced.
I think there's a high ceiling and a very low floor, and I have no idea
100%.
Where we're at. Like
100%.
The job is to have an opinion on radio, and that's good because I think all of us like opinions. But I don't like to pretend. I don't know which it is.
There's so many what ifs. I mean, Marcus Smart's going to be gone. Luke Kennard, Rui, and no LeBron James. But then how would you factor in how LeBron would play this year? Turning 42, I think there's just so much up in the air.
He is such a drama king sometimes. And look, he's nuanced, and I know no one's nuanced in their reactions to him.
No one.
I don't think it's unreasonable to think that maybe Luka was over it.
I think that's a possibility. I will say this. I don't think LeBron gets nearly enough credit for the third role that he took on last year's team, where he let those guys, Austin Reeves and Luka, be the top scorers, and he embraced more of a defensive role. And I think he just gets no credit for that. And I think he was a big part of the reason. Again, when you get all the three of those guys, they were 15-2, man.
We love the March stats. Well, that's not true. I do. Doug gets mad.
I'm just saying. I don't know.
Man, James Coe and I are so aligned.
We are, you know what? We are, though.
Yeah.
I've listened to your show, and you and I are very aligned on a lot of different things. I think you hate LeBron more than I do.
I don't hate him.
Whoa.
I hate that.
Hate's a strong word.
We're out of time, or else I'd follow up other than to say James Coe's great. I like LeBron. Doug's amazing, and we'll see you tomorrow on D-Mac and Reiter.
Let's go.